Okay, check, check. 1, 2, check, check. 1, 2, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay. Metcalf was able to hold that, but they stayed with the puck back behind the net. Blue got it, took a chance out in front to Zeal with a tap in that will score. Parks out of the shotgun, takes the snap, stepping, looking, back shoulder fade to Mackey, and he catches it for a Red River touchdown.
It's time for the best in local sports coverage with KNOX Live Sports and News Radio 1310 KNOX.
Puck goes free to the high slot, picked up Lovejoy, wrister, and he scores. Reardon working right side, defended the entire way. A stop by Dookie. She looks into J.C. Reardon, the high-low is there.
The following is a presentation of KNOX Live Sports, presented by Rivard's Turf and Forage and Grand Trailer Sales.
Off to the right, down to the doorstep. Hoganson, a backhander, he scores. What a play for Griffin Hoganson.
Let's go live to tonight's presentation.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we welcome you to the Blue Line Iceplex here in Midtown Grand Forks as we get set for the annual rivalry to continue between Grand Forks Central and Grand Forks Red River. It's the Knights, the Rough Riders, with the Gambucci Cup on the line tonight, as well as first place in the Eastern Dakota Conference. It doesn't get a whole lot bigger than the one that we have for you tonight. And we bring it to you live tonight on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports tonight, high atop Blue Line Iceplex, more cleverly known as Eagles Arena, here in Grand Forks, the home of the Rough Riders. Ryan Cunningham with Ryan Leducer with you here this evening. Ryan Kuntz is away, so what did we do? We went and found another Ryan. That's what we do. It seems like we got a plethora of that R-Y-A-N first name around here. So Ryan, first of all, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm sure you saw when you came in, there wasn't a place out there to be had as far as parking was concerned. We've got a great crowd already for what has been a junior varsity matchup. I think there's a lot of excitement in the air for what should be a pretty good hockey game coming up tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's always a fun time of year. You know, teams have kind of got to that halfway point in their season, kind of right after Christmas break, and kind of like you said, there's a lot on the line with Gambucci Cup. There's conference standings, and both teams kind of want to start, or not start, but they want to be playing their best hockey at this point of the year. So a lot to look forward to.
18 points for Grand Forks Red River in the Eastern Dakota Conference standings right now. 17 for Grand Forks Central without a loss in the standings, so they've got a game in hand at this point. We can talk all we want to about the Gambucci Cup, the rivalry, that type of thing, but I'm sure a coach somewhere finds a way to say there are 3 big points in the Eastern Dakota Conference that are on the line tonight, and that's what really matters here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know I said it earlier, but you really kind of want to start playing your best brand of hockey right now. And in these games, you always kind of look for kind of your top players to be impactful. But I'm kind of excited to kind of watch those middle of the pack guys, the guys that have kind of built some trust with their coaching staff to this point in the season, and those guys can make a big difference in games like this as well. So should be exciting to see that.
It's January 13th, and both of these teams have been playing so well as of late. Red River scored a ton of goals. Grand Forks Central just mopped up last week in the couple of games that they had. So if somebody comes out here and is very dominant tonight, does that set a tone that's hard to shake off 4 weeks from now when you get into the Eastern Dakota Conference tournament?
Yeah, that's a good question. You kind of get towards the end of the year, and games get a lot more tight checking. I think there's a lot of emphasis on defensive structure, especially once you start getting into that conference tournament, the state tournament. Might not be quite as open as some of the regular season games, so might have to adjust the gameplay a little bit, but yeah.
It's going to be a fun one tonight. Definitely looking forward to what should be an exciting atmosphere. As we mentioned, at about 4:45 this afternoon, there wasn't any place to park outside, whether it was in the main lot. You were starting to run out of room over by Kraft Field. And so this is one of the best rivalries that you're going to find in high school hockey out there. And with East Grand Forks and Roseau playing across the river tonight, it's a big night in the Grand Cities for some really good high school hockey this evening. But definitely looking forward to seeing what Red River can do at home. Ryan, it used to be that we played all these games over at Purple Arena. When you get Red River now in what is their home arena, do you feel like they've grown into this is our ice, we're going to defend it instead of sharing ice over at Purple this quickly?
Yeah, absolutely. And when I was a young kid here, I was a Red River kid, played for Red River, but we'd always pack up our bags and we'd head over to the Perp for games like this. So I think for the Riders to kind of have their kind of home ice advantage, a place that kind of feels like you're home, you're in your own locker room. There's some comfort there, and for sure some pride too. Like you never want your crosstown rival coming over and beating you in your own rink. So I think it's exciting for Red River. Obviously the renovations they've done to this place here, it's a pretty good facility for a game like this.
Absolutely. And someone's going to ask me at some point, why do you keep finding guys from Red River to broadcast hockey games with you? If anybody from Central wants to jump in, we're looking for you, okay? We can find that. But for whatever reason, both yourself and Ryan Coote seem to have that Red River connection.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but you know what? I've got to know a lot of these kids on Central as well, and a lot of really good families, and I just think Grand Forks is in such a fortunate spot to have so many good hockey players and good hockey families in our community.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun that we have for you here tonight. Now, we're going to take a pause at our pregame report brought to you this evening by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. And when we come back, we'll have one of our head coaches. We'll talk with Grant Paneika, the head coach of Grand Forks Central, run you down the complete conference standings so you can see what it is that's on the line in this one tonight, because it is a big one. Central Red River, big for a lot of reasons. Certainly in the standings tonight, the cup is on the line as well. Central wins it 5-on-5. They take home the Gambucci Cup. So a lot to do this evening. Thank you for joining us for it on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. We're back with more next.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to high school hockey tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, and also tonight on KNOX Radio. For those of you on the radio side looking for video coverage, you can find us on our YouTube channel. KNOX TV is what you search. Favorite us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you'll know what's coming up near you when the next game broadcast is going to come your way. And also you can find us this evening at knoxradio.com underneath the sports tab and click on the live sports link. Lots of ways to find us here this evening as we bring you coverage of Central and Red River here tonight. Our pregame report brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel, and brought to you tonight by True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations in the Red River Valley. Ryan Kuntz, Ryan Leducer, Ryan Cunningham, we're all just a big family here. Ryan Kuntz is on the road this evening. I know he's hating missing this right now, Ryan. He talked to you about this, and I know he's not happy about not being here tonight.
Yeah, I know this is something he really enjoys doing. So he's bugged me a couple times this year, and I couldn't say no to this one. So hopefully he's tuning in and watching.
We're certainly glad to have you tonight. We're about to take a look at the conference standings that we have with Drive for the title. We did mention it's January 13th, and so here we are. The conference tournament gets started, I believe it's like January 18th or something like that. I'm sorry, February 18th is the date. So we're 35 days from getting into this. Is there a clock in the back of these players' minds right now that you got to be ready to go because time is growing short?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of that point in the year where every game matters, every point you get in the standing matters, and I know I touched on it earlier, but coaching staffs want to see their guys competing hard and playing their best brand of hockey right now. So it's something where every game, you know, if you're an offensive guy, now's the time you want to really be clicking and maybe finding your groove a little bit and scoring some goals and feeling good heading into the kind of the postseason there.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at those conference standings that we have for you tonight with Drive for the title. And I'll look at what's happening as far as the Eastern Dakota Conference stack up. You can see, those of you on the video screen tonight, that we've got a tie for first place in the Eastern Dakota Conference. Grand Forks, Red River, and West Fargo Cheyenne have 18 points right now. But Red River's played 7 games. Cheyenne's played 8. Central's played only 6 without a blemish right now. And so even though Central's in 3rd place with 17 points, they've got a little bit more of a ceiling they can work with as far as moving up the ladder. From there, we've got just an ugly mess in the middle of the conference. Fargo North struggled early. Now they've brought their way back out to 4 conference wins. They have 13 points. Devils Lake has 12 points. They were hot early. They've struggled to find that big success as of late against a team that's maybe in front of them. And Fargo Davies came into Grand Forks and played Central to overtime and took a point out of Grand Forks. But, you know, West Fargo Cheyenne, Ryan, I know you keep up with the game, and Cheyenne has sort of risen their level of play to the point now where they're in this competition with Grand Forks Red River and Grand Forks Central. A lot of times at this point in the season, it would be a 2-team race. Right now, it's a 3-team race for the league championship.
Yeah, it seems to be kind of a little bit more open field kind of this year. Like, a lot of teams have been beating each other and taking points from each other. And, you know, with seeing West Fargo Cheyenne kind of where they were as a program to kind of where they're at now, I think it's a testament to kind of what their youth programs have done and their coaching staff there. It's, you know, it's something you take a lot of pride in as a community. So I know those young kids watching those games, seeing Cheyenne win some games, it's a neat thing to see.
Absolutely. But Red River in first place coming in tonight. Central is a point back, and Central also has a game in hand. So this one will determine at least part of first place tonight. Of course, West Fargo Cheyenne is at West Fargo. If Central wins this tonight, West Fargo holds serve against the Packers. Cheyenne would be standing in first place by themselves once again in the East region. Devils Lake is at Fargo North, and there's number 4 and number 5. You can't play for a whole lot more than home ice advantage in the opening round of the East region tournament. Davies is at Shanley. It's kind of rivalry night tonight. The south side of Fargo, you've got the West Fargo split, you got the Grand Forks split. Devils Lake needed a rival. We threw them up against Fargo North. I guess that's the way that goes, huh?
Yeah, it really is, and it's like we talked about. Every game matters, and especially right now with all these teams fighting for standings.
Absolutely. Well, let's go to our coaches' conversation. Grant Paneika is the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, and we had an opportunity to catch up with Grant on what's going to be a very exciting atmosphere here tonight, first and foremost, and then also talk about a team that's really been scoring at a hot level as of late and playing great hockey since the start of the 2026 calendar year. An opportunity to catch up with Grant Paneika, the head coach of Grand Forks Central. I mentioned with your counterpart from Red River, Tim Scarperud, this place was filling up before the junior varsity game even started. The parking was taken care of outside, and so I think the atmosphere exists for some people that are pretty excited about their hockey teams tonight, both Central and Red River.
For sure. I think the fans and the parents and everybody, alumni, everybody that's involved in these games or have played in them, know they're fun to be a part of and fun to watch. And I think that's kind of what we're going to expect again tonight. It's always been great games against Red River. They're a good hockey team, and we play each other hard, and we just kind of serve to make each other better teams.
Coach, let's talk about the run that you've been on lately. You've scored a lot of goals in the last couple of games that you've played and against some pretty good competition at times, but it seems like your teams always seem to find another gear right when the calendar flips to January. I don't know what it is about that calendar, but they seem to really find a 5th or 6th or 12th gear, whatever it is, once the new year starts.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I'm thankful for it and glad that it's happening. And yeah, we've kind of found the net a little bit more the last few games, but I kind of noticed on the website that Red River has found the scoring sheet quite a bit too. So, I don't know what to make of that, right? Like, they can put the puck in the net as well, and I'm just looking for a good game, I guess, out of both teams. And again, to reiterate, just we can make each other better, by playing in this game. So that helps all the kids involved.
One of the statistics that probably doesn't get enough attention, I believe you've given up 9 goals against conference opponents this year. Everyone else has at least twice that number right now. You've been very good, whether it's your offense just sustaining pressure or your blue line getting back. Something's been good about the way you've defended your own net.
Yeah, I think that's the pride of all the guys, all 6 guys working in unison on the ice, and then team pride in that kind of number. Save percentage is something that belongs to the goalies a little bit more, but when you look at goals against, that's a team stat, and I think that's something that all our guys take pride in. And we work from the defensive end of the ice out, so it's been working in our favor so far. We've been backstopped by good goaltending, regardless of who we've put in net this year, and it's all kind of part of the same equation of all the guys working together and just buying into our defensive structure and doing a good job at it.
Is there anything special that you game plan for Grand Forks Red River tonight? They've obviously got weapons. They've changed their lineup up a little bit, maybe something that you weren't expecting, but do you have to get ready for them, or do you feel like your game goes on the ice no matter who the opponent is at this point?
Well, I haven't seen any changes to their lineup yet, but we'll have to adjust, I guess, once we see those. But like you said, Ryan, we're kind of more concerned about our team and how we approach the game, and that we play to the standard that we've set for ourselves, and that's going to kind of be the most important thing. We can't always kind of key off what other teams are doing if we're not taking care of ourselves first. So we're kind of more interested in how our guys are going to play and how they're going to perform and what they're going to do when they get their chance.
Grant Paneika, the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, joining us on our pregame report. And Ryan, before we take our break, we mentioned with Coach Paneika, this point in the year, they've given up 9 goals in the Eastern Dakota Conference. We can talk all we want to about their high-scoring talent, but when it comes down to putting together a team type of game, you got to have all 5 men on the ice, all 15 guys, if you want to say, or 18 guys working in the right direction if you're going to get to this point of the year and not yet give up double-figure goals against your league competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And you heard Coach Paneika touch on that. It's something they take a lot of pride in. And, when you're checking well, when you're playing defense well, when you're limiting chances from the other team, that really jumpstarts your offense. Like if you can suffocate the other team's offense and get the puck going north, that's when you have success. And I know Central takes a lot of pride in that, and that's why they have success.
Absolutely. We'll come back with more, including Tim Scarperud, the head coach of Grand Forks Red River. You can hear the pep band in the background. There's plenty of atmosphere for this one tonight, and we're glad you joined us for it. As Central and Red River are set to play once again with the Gambucci Cup in first place in the East Region on the line tonight here at Blue Line Iceplex, formerly known as Eagles Arena here in Midtown Grand Forks. Our pregame report brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And brought to you tonight by True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. It's the Knights and Rough Riders as we continue with our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Blue Rich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
This is the KNOX pregame show, brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, driven by you, and Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports this evening from Blue Line Iceplex, formerly known as Eagles Arena. It's Grand Forks Central, Grand Forks Red River for a lot on the line tonight. First place in the East Region, the Gambucci Cup. Pregame report this evening brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel, and brought to you this evening by True North Equipment, true to your values, and ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Leducer with you here this evening. Let's take a look at the players to watch in this one tonight before we move on with our coaches conversation that we'll have for you coming up next. Our Tools the Game tonight, and our Tools the Game brought to you by Logan Karski, your State Farm Insurance representative in Grand Forks. He's brand new to the Grand Forks area, and Logan Karski is ready to put the game plan together for you for home, auto, life, health, business, whatever it is that needs protecting. Logan Karski has your game plan. Logan Karski, State Farm Insurance, bringing you our tools for the game that we have for you this evening. Well, Ryan, it's a typical Grand Forks Red River, Grand Forks Central matchup. There's all kinds of scoring talent for both teams that are out there, and you can see that there's a really, really balanced structure as far as who is doing the scoring right now for this Red River Rough Rider team, this Grand Forks Central Knights team. But I guess as we look at the names that are on the sheet here, for those of you on the video side, Nolan Marto is a man whose position and whose ability has continued to grow as he's made his way into high school hockey. 20 points right now for Grand Forks Central, second leading scorer, but he's definitely ascending as he makes his way through his sophomore year.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it's always tough when you make the jump from Bantam to high school, but I know Marto, it's a very common or popular name in the hockey world, especially in Grand Forks here, but you know, he's a special player, and it's been fun watching him just have the success he's had kind of early in his high school career here, and obviously kind of a lot of bit of a spotlight on him coming into his high school career, but you know, he's a kid who works hard and just loves the game of hockey.
Absolutely. Rylan Spicer, the leading scorer for Central, with 23 points and 13 goals at this point. Marto with 20 points, Gavin Walkenfuss with 19 points, and Ryder Rivard 16 points, and they've shown us some really, really interesting ability in that first line. Just off the sheet right now is Cooper DeZiel, who's really having a strong run as of late. But Caden Ulmer's the top scorer out there with 15 goals and 25 points. And right now playing on what they're calling 1A, 1B lines. Griffin Hoganson, his former line mate, with 24 points. And then a guy I really like, Cullen Ross, who a couple of years ago started getting some time due to injury, and then you couldn't get him out of the lineup. He just found a home and stayed there. Right now, 16 points, having a great season from the blue line. And Cale Gruenberg, who moved to that 1B or 1A line right away, he's found some success offensively as of late.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's I'm assuming Coach Scarperud wanted a little bit more strength and more depth down the middle. So, you know, you got Griffin Hoganson and Caden Ulmer, kind of the guys that you kind of want in the middle of the ice there. And you know, like you said with Cullen Ross, like he's a kid who got an opportunity, plays so hard. He's not the biggest body on the ice, but he certainly plays like he is. And if there's a chance to finish a check, he's doing it. If there's a chance to step in the play and create some offense, he's doing it. So, yeah, it's said that center depth for Red River is something I'm guessing they really wanted to look at.
Absolutely. Tools the Game tonight brought to you by Logan Karski, your State Farm Insurance representative in Grand Forks. Well, we're going to go to our coaches conversation with Tim Scarperud, the head coach of the Rough Riders. Before we go there, Ryan, you're in the coaching world. The coaching world is a small one. Anything you can share about Tim Scarperud that might take us by surprise tonight?
You know, not off the top of my head, but Scarp's a guy who, again, had a really successful hockey career with Red River, with UND and beyond, and you know, just for him to kind of come back and coach the Riders, his alma mater, and kind of get back. It's you know, both schools are so lucky to have the coaches they have, and I know Coach Scarp puts a lot of time into it, so players are lucky to have him.
Well, Tim Scarperud, the head coach of the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders, joining us tonight for our pregame report. Let's get his thoughts on what's going to be an exciting atmosphere for this one as well, and an opportunity game tonight for Grand Forks Red River, trying to hold on to that first place spot. This place is already filling up in the junior varsity matchup. I think there's a lot of excitement about this game based on how Central's played recently, how you've played recently. It has all the makings of a really, really good hockey game tonight.
Yeah, it does. You know what? I think the crew that helped design the changes to this building, first of all, did a great job, and thank the architects and all those crew that did that. It's a great atmosphere for high school hockey in here, and with Central here, we know it's going to be wall-to-wall with people, and it's going to be great. And obviously, we know Central's a great team, and every time Red River and Central battle, it's going to be a great test, and looking forward to it.
The Rough Riders have put a ton of pucks into the net as of late. You've really had some good scoring success. Tell us what it is that's made that possible for your team over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, it was just right from the start of the game, right? Against Fargo North, I think we scored our first 2 shifts. That carried over shift after shift after shift. So, it just created some momentum. Shanley, on the other hand, we probably had one of our worst periods of the year in the first period, but I liked how our guys responded, right? And the game is pretty simple. It's 5 men have to be going, 5 guys have to be going. Our systems are that way, and I like how our guys are moving, they're working together, they're playing together, and you know what? They've done a good job moving their feet and getting in their face.
About a month ago, you made just a small lineup change, Cale Gruenberg onto the second line. He's thrived there. It seems like that's really balanced some things out for you thus far.
Yeah, it's actually just been the last 2 games. So we switched up. Griffin Hoganson and Caden Ulmer were together on the top line, and now we moved Caden. I'm not calling it 1 and 2, but 1A and 1B, and Griffin Hoganson is now centering one line, and Caden Ulmer's centering another line, and that's been a good mix for us. Cale Grunberg's with Caden Ulmer, but all 6 of those guys, all 9 of those guys have done well. Thor Seeger had 2 goals against Shanley the other night, and I think it just creates more depth for us, right? Instead of keying on one line, now they have to, who are they going to go against, and just spreads out our depth a little bit more.
Grand Forks Central seems to have committed to a pretty smothering forecheck the last few games. Is that something you get ready for tonight? And if it is, how do you prepare a team to get ready to take those hits early and adjust to them?
Well, I think Central always plays physical, right? And then second, obviously their forward depth is pretty good. They can skate, they can move the puck, they can get on top of you. Really what you have to do is puck retrievals have to be really fast, and you have to have good support. I mean, it's not going to be one guy. It's not going to be Quinn Hughes like from the Minnesota Wild beating their forecheck, right? It's going to have to be 5 guys. You're going to have great puck support. You're going to have to move it quick, but you're going to have to get back to help each other out. And so I think if we have all 5 guys going, that'll help break up their forecheck a little bit.
And then finally, Coach, huge opportunity game tonight. The top of the standings is really smothered. I know we talk about the cup, but we can forget that for a second. 18-17, the point spread right now. Big opportunity game for Grand Forks Red River tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we got Central tonight and Cheyenne on Thursday, so what a great week. Obviously, Central is a huge rivalry, as we all know, and no matter what the standings are, no matter what the points are, we're just looking to get better. Obviously, January's, these games are huge. We're just trying to build towards the end of February, but tonight is huge. It's going to be a great night, and we're excited.
Those comments tonight from Tim Scarperud, the head coach of Grand Forks Red River Hockey here this evening. And, you don't hear anything in there that probably jumps off the page, Ryan, but one of the things that, you could tell in his voice is there's a little bit of extra energy with this team tonight because they realize that even though they're in first place, Central's a team they're kind of chasing right now. They got a chance to get them at home tonight. When you're in that scenario, you can see it in Coach Scarperud's face. There's a bit of intensity from this Red River team already tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And whenever these teams play each other, it's always intense. There's high emotions, but when you add on top of that, conference standings, Gambucci Cup, it just elevates everything a little bit more.
It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We're going to take our final break in our pregame report. When we come back, starting lineups and our keys to the game, so do stay with us. Our coverage of high school hockey continues next. Central Red River on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens.
At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need: turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto in Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem this evening. Well, as the national anthem concludes, we can tell you there aren't a whole lot of places to sit in here this evening. Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports tonight, KNOX Radio. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Leducer. With first place on the line in the Eastern Dakota Conference this evening, it's Red River hosting Central. Our starting lineups for tonight's matchup. First of all, for the Knights, in between the pipes is Rylan Burke. The starting defensive pair will be Logan Bina and Wyatt Blake. And starting up front, Cooper DeZiel will center Jay Kwame and Ryder Rivard for Grant Paneika. And for Grand Forks Red River, under head coach Tim Scarperud, Rylan Corinta gets the start in net tonight. Caden Svoboda and Brecken Holtberg will start as the defensive pair. Griffin Hoganson will center Stetson Brown and Mason Breno. And again, first place on the line tonight here at Blue Line Iceplex. Let's take a look at our keys for the matchup this evening. They're brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. For Grand Forks Central, that forecheck has been the key to their success as of late. You don't want to take a penalty in this game, though. There's plenty of good scoring opportunities over on the Red River side. They can come after you rather quickly, and so you want to stay 5-on-5 on the ice. And now the keys to the game this evening for Grand Forks Red River, again brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Win those physical battles, and Ryan, I think transitions in a hurry for Red River are huge. You're going to get away from that forecheck. You better get up the ice and do something pretty fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And you heard Coach Scarperud talk about that in the pregame. They want to move pucks as a 5-man unit, and they got to trust where each other's at on the ice, and they want to get that puck going up the ice in a hurry.
Keys the game brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Griffin Hoganson versus Cooper DeZiel for the opening draw, and it's a battle just to control the puck in the middle circle to start the night tonight. Rivard along the left wall, and it's driven in off the right side by Grand Forks Red River's Griffin Hoganson on the boards. This one comes back for the Riders, and they attack the house, but the puck goes wide to the corner, and Kwame got turned around as he tried to make his way over towards the puck. Hoganson will send it back off towards the right point. Brecken Holtberg will spray in a puck for Grand Forks Red River. Works back to Caden Svoboda on the near side, and Grand Forks Central able to fight it back just into the neutral zone. Riders will go off as they had to get back on side. Central trying a stretch pass looking for DeZiel. This one goes just wide of Corinta and is chased down back in the far corner by Brecken Holtberg for the Rough Riders. So some good play early, and we do see Grand Forks Red River trying to transition, but Central came away with the first stretch pass of the night. Puck loose in the Grand Forks Red River end, and we'll see a whistle and an offside call coming up. But Central had a good breakout. Red River, though, looked like they were trying to, pay some extra attention to the tempo of the game early.
Yeah, good pace to start there from both sides. That's a good energy shift from really both first lines there.
See a draw on the Grand Forks Red River line, and Nolan Marteau looks to bang that one away. It'll be won by Grand Forks Red River's Caden Ulmer, and this will play through the neutral zone. We've played just about a minute of hockey. We're scoreless, neither team with a shot as of yet. Puck comes to the near side for Grand Forks Central. Rylan Spicer got it back out as far as his own line, works back into the neutral zone and missed on a chance for Cullen Ross to try to hold the offensive end. Riders back, and a puck went loose in front of the net, but it will be played back out into the neutral zone. Long chase to get back to it for Logan Nielsen of the Knights. Nielsen comes back as far as the Red River line on a pass to Gavin Walkenfuss. Walkenfuss from a tough angle, put it out in front for Rylan Spicer, and a fight from Rylan Corinta to keep that puck loose and send it back into the left corner of the Grand Forks Red River zone. Knights back to it again with Caden Ulmer for Red River, got a touch on it, and some pressure coming up the ice as well from Red River's Caden Benke as they start a change to their third line. Thor Seeger, who scored a couple of times against Fargo Shanley in their last matchup, sends it back into the Grand Forks Central zone. Knights counter, put back up the ice on the far side by Gavin Walkenfuss at the end of his shift. And Grand Forks Red River might be trying to gain a little bit of a matchup advantage. They went to their third line a bit early. Puck comes back out towards the right into the neutral zone. Trey Clausen got a touch for Central. Turned it back up the near side boards. Riders back to get to it on the back check, and Brody Lucier ends up hitting the deck as he brought the puck back as far as the line. Central put it back in, but Lucier was able to pick it off along the left wall, and we'll see another whistle coming up. And a draw coming up in the Grand Forks Red River zone, or perhaps along the line on an offside call.
Yeah, we've already seen it a couple times there with Central's transition game in the neutral zone. They're getting pucks. They're looking to headman it quick. There might be one D to D and up, but they're looking to get that puck going into Red River zone and forward checking hard.
We draw on the Red River end. No score on the all-true scoreboard. Puck comes back out to the neutral zone and will be picked up for Grand Forks Red River. Brecken Holtberg will play it back through the neutral zone, and now Holtberg pinches up, trying to chase it down against some pressure from Grand Forks Central's Kason Panzer, who comes out on the third line tonight for the Knights, or at least the third pair defensively for the Knights. It'll work back towards the left side. Mason Bensley coming up the ice. Third line out there again for Central. Trey Clausen, he's tough to bring down. Gets corralled on the far side wall and got stuck pretty good. A good check from Caden Svoboda. Puck goes loose into the corner. Rivard got a piece of it, turned it back behind the Grand Forks Red River net, and they chased towards it with DeZiel trying to lead the charge for Central in the right corner of the Red River zone. Back towards DeZiel, then he lost control of the puck, and Brecken Holtberg will swim it back into the neutral zone for the Rough Riders. Holtberg goes to chase. Instead, it's kept up by Wyatt Blake. First pair defender, then lost again in a deflection off the near side from Blaze Newbert, who had a really nice night against West Fargo last week. Puck comes loose along the near side wall and will flop back into the neutral zone on a pitchfork. A poke away off the near side by Cullen Ross, who's back out defensively. Now puck lost left side. DeZiel trying to charge in, but Red River a great check to take DeZiel off the paint. I'll tell you what, Ryan, there's been no space out there for Grand Forks Central when they got in the offensive end. Now Gruenberg coming away, put one just wide of the net.
Yeah, Red River's done a pretty good job so far, just eliminating chances, but they gotta really clean up their breakouts because Central's coming hard, and I know that was kind of coach's piece of the game there. So Red River's really going to want to clean that up if they want to have success here.
Caden Ulmer keeps one of the offensive ends. Central looks to clear it. It'll go back all the way into the Grand Forks Red River zone, and it'll be chased down by Cam Irian back behind his own net. We're under 13 to play of the opening period, still scoreless. Puck knocked into the air on a deflection that time by Bodie Burris, who steps out as the second pair defender for Central. Back across the ice, Logan Nielsen looking for a big hit. That one knocked down a Rough Rider, but it was covered in the neutral zone by Brody Lucier, who alertly put the puck back into the Central end and put on some pressure. Burris comes away, got tripped up a bit as he came through. Central crowd wants a penalty. Not yet for that one. Chased down by Nielsen in the corner and goes loose there as Lucier got back trying to chase it down for Grand Forks Red River. Out as far as the neutral zone, Nielsen will chuck it back to the far boards. Red River recovers with Rylan Edmond coming over to pick it up for the Rough Riders. Puck back out into the neutral zone again. and float back to the near side where Thor Seeger gets a chance. Left corner for Red River. Had an opportunity to make a pass. Couldn't quite get the passing lane clean to chase Kolka. And the puck on the far wall for Gavin Wackenfuss. He comes up 3-on-2 and an odd man. A turn off the right side and a drive well up over the bar by Carson Cutterba. Third pair defender. Wackenfuss gets stood up on a hit from Hultberg. Marto goes back behind the net to try to find a puck, but it went loose and picked away by Brecken Hultberg, one of the more dependable defenders you're going to find for Grand Forks Red River. Chip up the far boards, and this will turn into an icing call, and we'll head back into the Red River zone for a draw with 11:40 left of the first period. I don't see anybody really gaining much of an advantage yet, Ryan.
No, not so much, but really nice step from Carson Cutterbaugh there. Kind of that second wave. They make a play up the ice, and he's kind of that next guy coming up, so good jump by him.
Central wins a draw, misplays it back into the neutral zone. Blake will dump it back into the Red River end. No shots on goal as of yet by either team either. This has been a good physical war, played along the edges for the most part so far tonight. Puck along the far boards for Grand Forks Central. Sam Presting leading a shift for the fourth line. He's been very effective as a fourth line center so far this year. Blake on the right point for the Knights. Tosses towards the near wall, goes loose in the corner, and once again Brecken Hultberg is there to hold up the progress for the Rough Riders. Let's go loose in the zone again. Svoboda goes over to pick it up. Back up to the top of the near circle. Brody Ledegi trying to hold it. Instead, it breaks out to the right side. Long race coming up the ice, and a wrister goes just wide that time from Grand Forks Red River in the form of Mason Breno, who's joined that first line and had an opportunity to come up the ice on a rush on the right wall. Now it's Central trying to back check, and the puck held in. We'll see a puck covered up and a draw coming up in the Central end as Rylan Burke will hold on for the whistle. Our coverage of tonight's matchup brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. The PS stands for perfect service. PS Garage Doors, Devils Lake and Grand Forks. Call 772-DOOR. We draw back towards the near point. Red River's Cam Irian struggling to hold on to it. Comes back to the right side. Cullen Ross off the board. We'll cycle one back into the Grand Forks Central end, and a big hit thrown against Brody Burris, who got back to the wall to try to hold it. Rust from the side. Shot blocked away by by Rylan Burke, but the puck went loose towards the near wall, and there was a dangerous rebound. Red River couldn't quite take advantage of it. Puck poked loose on the far side. Bensley stepping up, and a big hit thrown in against Bensley on Colin Rost. And now a 2-on-2 battle for control along the wall. The third man is Rost to step in, and Caden Ulmer will step the puck free on a backhand clear to the near side. This will come back to as far as the circle. Works back in towards the corner. Riders try to cover back to it on the near edge. Blaze Newbert getting to it. Newbert trying to clear back through the circle, but again, cut off by Mason Bensley. Here comes that forecheck from Grand Forks Central that we've talked about, and it's been very good. It breaks out with Gruenberg. And no chance for Gruenberg but to chip it off the glass, and even that didn't get through. Loose puck left side. Rivard trying to take a step. He got stuck back behind the net. Puck rubbed off again, and we'll see Brody Lucier trying to clear. Central keeps the puck up in the offensive zone longer, and a quick chance ends up into a hand pass, and we'll see a draw coming up, it looks like, back in the Central end. But Ryan, we saw just a smothering forecheck again from Central. Red River had a lot of players around, and they were able to make some good body hits, but couldn't clear the puck.
Yeah, Riders are really having a tough time kind of on their half walls right now. They're wingers. Those aren't easy plays to make. You got guys forechecking. You got defenders stepping down on you. So, some Red River defensemen might have to just kind of go high and hard and get that puck past a stepping up Central defender. But Red River's going to have to clean that up coming out of their zone on the half wall there.
We draw on the Grand Forks the Grand Forks Central end. Puck comes work to Shea Kwame. Kwame found DeZiel, a little 2-on-1 breakout here. DeZiel from a steep angle, the net cleared completely off its pegs. As we see Rylan Corinta go down to cover one up from DeZiel. And in the meantime, I believe it was Kwame that ends up careening into the crossbar and taking the net off its moorings, and that will lead to a cleanup effort in the Red River end and a draw with 9:21 left of the first period. Well, there's the first mess of the night, Ryan.
Yeah, you probably going to see a lot more of those here.
I would guess we probably will. Draw is brought to you tonight by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop. And brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, the #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. Will draw left circle of the Grand Forks Red River zone. Draw knocked loose off the near side for the Rough Riders in their own end by Griffin Hoganson, leading that first line out for the Rough Riders. They'll come back into the neutral zone. Breno on the right, trying to toss down the far corner. 2-on-2 back up the ice We'll see Ryland Burke come out of his own crease to try to make a play along the near side wall. It was held up, but Rivard steps in to get to it, and Rivard slices his way through the defense, finding Kwame on a drop pass in the right circle. Kwame ends up losing control of the puck, and this will flow back into the neutral zone. Get a media stoppage coming up next. Logan Bina breaking one out to Kwame from the high slot, trying to pull around a pair of defenders. Chases down his own loose puck, tried to backhand it back towards the crease, and ends up having it run back towards the wall. Red River clears, and we'll see Burke coming up trying to make a transition play. This was knocked down, but it will be offside, and that should bring us to our media stoppage here in the opening period of play. We'll take the timeout with 8:32 to play here in the opening frame. Your score on the All-True scoreboard, scoreless between the Rough Riders and the Knights. Our timeout's brought to you tonight by Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports, Ryan Cunningham, Ryan LaDucer with you here tonight from Blue Line Iceplex. We draw back in the Red River end. Central and Red River scoreless. First place battle in the Eastern Dakota Conference tonight. And also a battle for the Gambucci Cup. More on that in a bit. Central holds the puck in the offensive end. Over to cut it off, Cullen Ross being chased by Gavin Walkenfuss for Central. Walkenfuss picks one off and turns it back towards the far corner. Spicer a turn on a snowplow and tries to make his way back behind the Red River net. Can't get to it, but good pinch up for Wyatt Blake trying to hold the puck in. Hits the side of the cage. Spicer picks it up, backhands it towards the net. Corinta reaching out, trying to find room to cover things up. Walkenfuss behind the net, turns it back towards the point. A look from the left side by Bina, and back to Blake. And Blake will send it wide to the net. Another pile up on the crease, and once more, Corinta reaches back and covers for a whistle. Wow.
Yeah, looked like it almost kind of surprised him off that kind of that back wall there. Looked like it almost went in, but obviously not.
They're going to cover it up, it looks like, at least for now, and say no scoring on that. First shot on goal for Grand Forks Central. But it seems like after about the first 5 minutes or so, Central's tried to tilt the ice a little bit in this first period.
Yeah, they have, and I know I mentioned it earlier, but Red River's really got to clean up their exits coming out of the zone. That's kind of giving them a real tough time right now.
Puck into the corner near Spicer as it comes off the draw. Cullen Ross attempts to clear for Red River. This will work back to the neutral zone. Hoganson pulling through traffic. Drops one back. He's got a rush from Stetson Brown, who backhands one up and over the bar. Was deflected on the way through. Puck comes loose towards the wall. Breno gets to it. High slot wrister. Good stop made. Backhander for Griffin Hoganson that he didn't get rid of. That was after a tough save made by Ryland Burke through traffic. And now Nolan Marto trying to twist his way up the ice for Central, but a check will take him off the puck.
Yeah, great opportunity from Red River there, and that started back from their own defensive end. A couple small area plays, advancing pucks, and it leads to offense down on the other side.
Brody Lucier back on the back check for Grand Forks Red River. 7 minutes to play of the opening period. We're scoreless. 3-1 shots on goal in favor of the Rough Riders at this point. Nielsen back behind the net for Central. Gets tied up in the back wall with Bodie Burris. Picked away. Rough Riders try to wrap out in front of the slot and end up losing the puck on a backhand clear off the far side coming from Brady Kirkaby for Central. Central's got the fourth line back out there again. Lucier back for Grand Forks Red River trying to lead to a breakout. Goes loose behind the net. A step over towards the far side for the Rough Riders. Caden Benke trying to work his way back towards the wall. Benke turned it back to the circle. This will bound back into the neutral zone. And the Knights back to get to it with Kaysen Panzer at the end of his shift. Thor Seeger picks it away for Red River and backhands up into the central zone. So now the Rough Riders back after it on the far side. Kulka Turns one back behind the net. This will go back behind. Preston trying to lead a breakout. Lost it. Caden Ulmer steps in. Big play by Burke to try to knock that one away stick hand. And now the puck's in front of him as the Rough Riders dig for it, trying to force one across. Really gritty area play there. The Knights stepped in with 3 defenders to keep that from going any further.
Yeah, a little bobble puck there, and Red River jumped on it quick.
Here's a pass to the right and a quick wrister that came in from Seeger that gets knocked away. Puck loose again. Newbert reaches for the puck. This will go loose into the neutral zone for Bensley. And now Grand Forks Red River picks one away once more. Svoboda coming up into the offensive end. He'll lose control of the puck. Back out to the line. Ulmer had a touch on it, couldn't hold the offensive end. Here comes Clausen breaking out, and a chance goes wide from Mason Bensley. After Trey Clausen, the third line center, was able to find a breakout into the Red River end. Central has to get back on side. Haltberg will take it away for Red River. This will pinball its way down towards the central net out in front of Stetson Brown, who couldn't catch up to the puck. Cale Gruenberg will hold an offensive zone for the Rough Riders. Ulmer looking back behind the net for Brown. He got cut off to the spot by Wyatt Blake. This will come back to the near side wall. A touch up the wall for Clausen. Central picks another off and a breakout pass. Clausen comes up as far as the Red River line. Kwame tried to dig around some pressure from Cam Urian. Rough Riders force another turnover, only to have Trey Clausen pick one off, getting back in his own end, and then Breno disrupting a pass. Red River comes away with control of the puck. It'll be Kyler Beadall who wraps out in front, and a score coming up for Griffin Hoganson. That will make it 1-0 in favor of the Rough Riders.
Yeah, well, good forecheck there from Red River, causing the turnover and making Central pay.
American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agency replay. You'll see this develop rather quickly. Comes in towards the right, and right there, just out in front, Hoganson able to take a loose puck. May have been a rebound. It may have been a pass, but nonetheless an opportunistic Griffin Hoganson to make it 1-0 in favor of Grand Forks Red River.
Yeah, and Red River had a couple back-to-back shifts there of some positive puck touches and good plays, so nice to see them get rewarded.
We'll get the scoring for you again. Our sound system here doesn't really give us an opportunity to hear the scoring as it comes in, but it'll be Hoganson scoring at the 12-minute, 15-second mark of the opening frame. That'll make it 1-0 Red River on the all-true scoreboard. And the Knights come back up the ice with Rivard trying to answer. He'll push one into the corner. Picked off there by Cooper DeZiel, and Cullen Ross will take it back for Grand Forks Red River. Out to the point. Bina trying to hold the spot. This will go loose into the neutral zone. Cale Gruenberg's got a step, but he gets run down as he made his way towards the high slot, being chased by Bodie Burris from behind. Puck out towards the far point. Gruenberg couldn't catch up to it. Here comes Ryder Rivard with the wrister that gets deflected up and off the glass behind the net. Loose puck won there by Che Kwame, who puts it wide. Kwame tries to play it back out towards DeZiel. This will come loose towards the point. Panzer holds the offensive end, then got picked off. And Thor Seeger comes up the ice. He ends up falling. Maybe tried to draw a tripping call, but the official saw it right away and said, nope, that one was just you falling forward. Puck goes loose into the Red River end, and the Riders break out with it. It'll be off the far wall for Kyler Beadall. Beadall may have been a part of the scoring on that last play. When we see it, we'll take a look for it. Panzer dribbles one through the neutral zone on the left side wall. Beadall tries to hold the spot against the Knights on the far end. This will be taken back off the near side by Carson Cutterba for Grand Forks Central. Cutterba breaks out towards the left, found Gavin Walkenfuss. A turn along the boards. Tried to reach for Cutterba on the point. This got picked off. Here comes Red River in a rush. Cam Urian coming up the ice. Puck ends up being knocked loose. No chance there for Cutterba except to Pele a puck to the far boards. He kicked it away from a Rough Rider chasing it down. Rough Rider was Chase Kulka. Brecken Hallberg in the far corner. Kulka again ends up having one taken away. Nolan Marto confronted by 3 Riders on the left point. Puck dribbles loose. Marto able to stay to it. Bensley tries to guide it down the wall. Into the far corner again. A reach back for Brecken Hallberg, and this is a battle. Hoganson brought it back out, and he's quickly turned back in by Logan Bina of Grand Forks Central. Marto a touch. Spicer reaching back for it. Digs back as far as the near side corner. Unable to find what he's looking for. Turned it back out to the left, and a quick try that's turned away by Corinta. The puck went loose. There was a chance by Spicer. It was Bina that got things started. Puck comes back up towards the near side boards and will be sent back into the corner. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to play opening period. 1-0 Grand Forks Red River on the all-true scoreboard. The Riders scoring with Griffin Hoganson getting the first goal of the game a couple of moments ago. Riders back up into the neutral zone. This will be pushed back down the ice. They're going to wave off icing. Hoganson's chasing it against Blake, and Blake got turned into the back wall. Hoganson steers it back out towards the right point. Ross trying to get a wrister through. Is blocked by Bensley. Puck deflected on the way back through as Red River taking off their defensive pair at the end of a shift. Breno tries to chase it down into the corner. He's got help with Blaze Newbert. This will spray back into the neutral zone. And right now it's the Rough Riders that are getting the better end of it as they come up into the offensive end. Russ to try. Got past a blocking attempt from Berg. He had to reach back and deflect the puck further back towards the corner. Gruenberg holds the puck, and this one ends up out of sight. But that last play a moment ago for Rylan Burke, the goaltender for Central, I don't know if he got a little nonchalant or whatever, but that fell behind his stick for a moment.
Yeah, I don't know if it surprised him or if it came off a Central defender's stick a little funny, but yeah, that one looked like it surprised him a little bit.
We'll draw to the right circle of Rylan Burke for Grand Forks Central. 1-0 Red River on the all-true scoreboard. Gruenberg turns and has one deflect wide. It'll go loose to the far side. Nielsen got picked off. Newbert will fire and score. A takeaway by Blaze Newbert for Grand Forks Red River. And Ryan, you've talked about the little things that matter. There's just a turnover. We'll see it again in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay, but this is one of those plays that looks harmless until Newbert takes the puck away and then has a wide open angle to take a shot from the inner half of the slot.
Yeah, well, it is. It's just it's not giving up on pucks, not giving up on plays, and you know, forechecking hard, sticking with it, and putting a puck in the back of the net.
So Blaze Newbert will score. The time of the goal will be at 15 minutes and 44 seconds of the period. And Newbert, who's had a really nice surge for Grand Forks Red River as of late, makes it 2-0 Rough Riders on the all-true scoreboard as we approach the final minute of play here in the opening frame. Hoganson off the far wall, picked up off the far boards by Grand Forks Red River. Wrister coming through traffic by Rylan Edmond, picked away by Hoganson for the Rough Riders. He tries to wrap around back behind the net, chased down by Nielsen. Hoganson got stood up. DeZiel takes a hit, that time from Breno. Puck loose behind the net again. Burris off the far wall. Rivard steers it back to Kwame in the neutral zone. Kwame coming up, drop pass offside will be the call. And we'll draw coming up along the Red River line. Well, we've seen Grand Forks Red River rise to the occasion here awfully quickly. They're beginning to make some believers, I think, and they haven't done anything super special except some of the little things so far tonight, right?
Yeah, they really haven't. You know, early on they did struggle getting pucks out of the zone, but you know, a couple chances they had to score, and they capitalized on them.
So 2-0 Grand Forks Red River in the all-true scoreboard. During our intermission report coming up in a couple of moments, we'll take a look back at the highlights in this one. Puck goes loose in the neutral zone. A step back to get to it for Grand Forks Central's Gavin Walkenfuss. He'll turn it off the near side wall. And Walkenfuss into the corner ends up losing the puck out of play. We'll draw coming up into the Red River end.
Well, right there you see kind of Caden Ulmer being patient as a centerman coming through. Red River really struggled kind of on the half walls, especially early on breaking pucks out. So having Caden in the middle should be helpful, but you can also see they're kind of struggling on the half walls a bit with him not there.
Marteau wins the draw for Grand Forks Central. Blake will turn it back towards the boards, and it comes back across. And there was an opportunity with an open net in front of Walkenfuss, but he couldn't reach the loose puck as it came through the crease. This will be put on net towards Rylan Burke. He tries to transition back out, and somehow Caden Ulmer held the offensive end. And we'll see a puck from Gruenberg back to Ulmer, who spun one through the crease right at the end of the opening period. And Grand Forks Red River with some momentum going into the locker room at the end of one. It's a heck of a first period. Central kind of got into their thing early. Red River responded and turned this into a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, they did. Red River really kind of weathered the storm there from Central. You knew they were going to come out, forecheck hard, cause some turnovers. Red River was able to kind of keep them off the scoreboard and was able to get to themselves.
It's 2-0 in favor of Grand Forks Red River over Grand Forks Central as we go to our intermission report. Our intermission report tonight brought to you by our friends at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. And we'll come back with our highlights from the opening period in just a couple of moments. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
The body shop you work with is your choice, so pick the local team with the service you trust. Modern Auto Body in Grand Forks can make it look like the accident never happened. Schedule an appointment for an estimate on our website or give us a call.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports tonight as we have some young skaters coming on the ice from the figure skating program here in Grand Forks that will entertain the intermission crowd tonight. At the end of the opening period of play, your score is Grand Forks Red River 2, Grand Forks Central nothing in a battle for the Gambucci Cup in first place in the Eastern Dakota Conference. Our intermission report brought to you this evening by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks and Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan LaDucer with you here tonight. Well, this was a rather interesting first period. Grand Forks Central, about 2 or 3 minutes into the game, kind of had a good shift or two where that forecheck began to work a little bit. Red River seemed to respond to that, scored a goal, came back, scored another, did some really little things that were very crucial in that first period of play tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It was kind of a tale of two halves in that period. Central came out hard. They were forechecking hard, causing turnovers, really making it tough on Red River. But after Red River kind of weathered that a little bit, they started stacking shifts and, didn't have a whole lot of sustained zone time, but were able to cause a couple turnovers on really nothing plays, and they got rewarded for it.
Isn't that interesting that you get these two teams together, all the skill and all the different things that can make a game twist, and it comes down to a couple of turnovers in your own zone that lead to 2 quick goals for the Rough Riders?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the game of hockey. Like, a lot of times it's not, it's not tic-tac-toe. It's constantly stringing little plays and making those 5-10 area plays, and that's how you score goals. Absolutely.
Well, let's take a look at the highlights that we had from the opening period of hockey. Our highlights tonight brought to you by our friends at American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent in Grand Forks, and it starts here with a goal coming from Griffin Hoganson. Now, this was a really nice play by a third liner, and Hoganson comes up reeling one in, but I think we saw I believe that was Kyler Beadall, actually a fourth liner that carried that puck in. We'll get the scoring on it. And then Hoganson finished it. And here's another one, a turnover where Blaze Newberg just takes a puck away in the circle, turns and goes top shelf. So 2 goals for Grand Forks Red River, where in both situations tonight, Ryan, they just forced a couple of turnovers is really all they did. But the little things matter, and they've got 2 goals on the board right now.
Yeah, and like I said, they didn't have a whole lot of sustained zone time there, but encouraging for Red River to kind of see that on the forecheck and cause some turnovers and have some success doing it.
Grand Forks Central, certainly nothing to hang their hat about at this point, maybe just a little bit undisciplined in their own end with those turnovers, but they did produce pretty well. I was impressed in that first period, Ryan, with the way that Brecken Hultberg played and the way that their defensemen came in, and really Central didn't have a chance to set up a lot of offensive zone time either.
Yeah, they really didn't. Central did come out hard on their forecheck, and they did make it hard on kind of Red River's wingers, kind of breaking some pucks out. But like you said, you got Brecken Hultberg, you got Cullen Ross. Like, those are two young men that are going to play a lot of minutes come tournament time, and to see them kind of out here in these big games, logging some big minutes, like that's what you want from Red River.
Well, we got that tonight and then some, and now we'll see. They've established the momentum in this one, so we'll see now what happens going forward. Let's take a look at our scoring summary that we have for you this evening, and our scoring summary is brought to you tonight by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. Opening goal, Kyler Beadall did get an assist on it. Griffin Hoganson comes up with a goal, and Mason Breno was in there as well. Time of the goal came at 12:15 of the opening period, and that made it a 1-0 matchup in favor of Grand Forks Red River. And then the Rough Riders would score again. The second time around, it was Blaze Newbert that got the goal, and that one was unassisted. So Newbert all alone, again, just creating that turnover, and ends up with a goal to make it 2-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. And so tonight, Who Lit the Lamp? Again, Who Lit the Lamp brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. And it was Griffin Hoganson, along with Blaze Newbert, coming up with the goals. And Kyler Beadall, a fourth liner, is on the scoreboard tonight for Grand Forks Red River. That's a nice little thing to see.
Yeah, it is. And, Kyler with his older brothers, I'm sure they're tuning in and watching. But, he's just he's a little energy bug out there. He plays hard. Might not be the fastest, might not be the most skilled, but you're always going to get his best each game. So nice to see him get rewarded there.
Absolutely finishes here. When we come back, we'll take a look through some scores in the Eastern Dakota Conference. We've got a lot of games that are going on tonight. I want to say one thing, though, Ryan. Having that pep band in the background, doesn't that just take this up about 150% when it comes down to atmosphere?
Yeah, that's always the best in these games. Like the band is loud. This, the Blue Line Club Iceplex, it's a noisy building, so it's such a good atmosphere for a high school hockey game.
Absolutely love it. 1-0, rather 2-0 in favor of Grand Forks Red River over Grand Forks Central as we continue our coverage of high school hockey tonight. Our intermission report brought to you this evening by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports and KNOX Radio.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports this evening from the Blue Line Iceplex, formerly known as Eagles Arena. By the way, Ryan Kuntz has told us that he just can't lose Eagles Arena. He can't come out of that.
It's hard. You know, I got a kid in termite hockey now, and when I tell Grandpa and Grandma we're playing over at the Blue Line Club Iceplex, I think it's a little confusing. So it's always going to be Eagles Arena to me.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, mine's a squirt. So he ends up playing mostly down at the Icon, but every once in a while over at Gambucci. I noticed that things stay a little bit more on the level at the Icon. They get a little bit more gritty over at Gambucci. It must be that north side thing.
Yeah, who knows what it is. But I was talking to my dad about that the other day, just, again, how fortunate Grand Forks is to have the access to ice we do, because when I was growing up playing termites and mites and squirts, that's when you were practicing outdoors a couple times a week. So,
sure.
You know, just the rinks we have and kind of the money and resources they put into kind of the existing facilities, and then obviously building the Icon, and you know, for a community of our size, we're pretty lucky.
Yeah, we're absolutely not hurting for high school hockey atmosphere, and this one's got plenty of that tonight. There's a crowd that is very deep all over the place. Pep band in the background. 2-0 Grand Forks Red River. Goals from Griffin Hoganson at 12:15 of the opening period, and Blaze Newbert at 15:44 of the period, make it a 2-0 lead for Grand Forks Red River. Assists from Kyler Beadall and Mason Breno on Hoganson's goal. Blaze Newbert scored all alone. As we continue with our intermission report, brought to you tonight by our friends at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. Well, let's take a look at the Eastern Dakota Conference scoreboard that we have with games in progress right now. They're playing at Farmers Union Insurance Center down in Fargo tonight between Fargo Davies and Fargo Shanley. Shanley's got a 1-0 lead, but Fargo Davies has outshot Shanley 15-2 in that matchup, but Elijah Emineth scoring the lone goal for Fargo Shanley. Jordan Wright with an assist. That came early in the opening period, and that made it 1-0 in favor of Shanley, but the Eagles definitely have the shots advantage there, 15-2 in shots on goal in that matchup. Of course, you would expect this when you're playing 4 versus 5 in the conference. It's a mess tonight between Fargo North and Devils Lake at the Coliseum this evening. The Spartans with 2 in the first, 2 in the second. They've got a 4-3 lead over Devils Lake in that matchup right now. Fargo North getting goals from Skylar Burkhardt, Elijah Inger on the power play, and then also at even strength. And Kellen Doherty with a goal as well for Fargo North. And for Devils Lake, Jackson Schumacher, Thomas Levers, and also Hayden Volk. And, you know, I think Devils Lake has been one of the nice stories that have come out of the Eastern Dakota Conference this year. They've proven themselves to be a talented hockey team. They played Central to a tight game over at Burdick Arena, and they seem to have some balance to go with it. We're looking at that scoring sheet right now, and there's a half a dozen names on it for Devils Lake.
Yeah, and Devils Lake, you know they're always going to play hard, and they always give teams a real tough game. So to see them have success is it's really no surprise.
35-14 shots on goal advantage in that one for Fargo North. However, that's a lot of shots that have been played at that level. And then the battle at the West Fargo Sports Center tonight between West Fargo Cheyenne and West Fargo. And right now the Packers have tied up the Mustangs at 2 apiece in that one. Each team has scored, each team has responded. Bennett Benson with another goal and an assist. He continues to just crush it this year as far as production is concerned. Also Wyatt Matson with a goal for Cheyenne, but West Fargo is countered with Carson Murray, Halo Buckholtz, and Ryan, I tend to believe that when West Fargo and West Fargo Cheyenne play, that's one of those literally throw the records out. There's not a whole lot of love lost between north side and south side when it comes down to West Fargo.
Yeah, absolutely. It almost mirrors kind of what we're seeing here tonight. You know, records go out the door, and there's a lot of pride on the line in those games.
Yeah, I think the West Fargo thing is interesting to me, though, because when Central and Red River play and they're both good, there usually is still some order to the game and that type of thing, whereas I think when Cheyenne and West Fargo play, it is literally wide open. I don't know that there's a whole lot of structure that goes on in that game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, you know what, sometimes those games are the most fun to play in.
Well, I think so, yeah, definitely something that you can have some fun with there. But at the end of the period of play here, first period, Grand Forks Red River leading Grand Forks Central by a score of 2-0. Our second period is on the way in a couple of moments, so stay with us. We'll take another break in our intermission report tonight, brought to you by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. This is high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports and KNOX Radio.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports this evening. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Leducer with you. Our keys to the game this evening were brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. And Ryan, you were talking about youth hockey. We were just in Jarrell's this past weekend. Really love the way that they feature the Aviator brand. You know, we obviously they feature East Grand Forks and Central and Red River and things that are going on at home, but they've really taken some ownership of making sure that Aviators gear is there, and there's a lot of Aviators in Grand Forks right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you look around the rink right now, you got a bunch of youth hockey players kind of fitted head to toe in their Aviator stuff. So again, there's a lot of pride in the youth hockey program, and I know Brad Lucky, Jason Ulmer, those guys do such a good job of putting in the time. And you know, when you talk jerseys and apparel, I don't know if there's a bigger jersey nut than Jason Ulmer. He'll tell you everything there is to know about jerseys. So I think he had a pretty big hand in kind of the branding aspect from that side.
And they got plenty of it. They've got garment bags. They've got sweats, both top and bottom. They've got the Aviators gloves as well that a lot of the young men that are playing at the, squirt level and so on and so forth decide to put together. But yeah, the youth hockey situation at Grand Forks is strong right now. And they're all being supplied by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. That's been really cool to see. We go to the second period of hockey tonight. Central down a couple of goals to Grand Forks Red River. They haven't been in this situation much throughout the course of the year, and we'll see how they respond. Going into period number 2, Griffin Hoganson for Red River will take the draw versus Cooper DeZiel for Central. Hoganson wins it. For those of you radio side, Red River now moving from our left to right and right to left for Grand Forks Central. Puck loose in the neutral zone. The Knights trying to back up to it in their own end. They're able to find it. This is Bina taking a look, backing his way into the corner and then sending one up the left side wall. DeZiel coming up with the touch, comes back to center trying to find Shea Kwame, but puck strong, and Mason Breno will pick it up off the left wall for the Rough Riders. He charged into the offensive end, backhand one towards the net. Burke had a chance to stop it, but it floats back out on a rebound on top of the crease. Hoganson a touch, and this will work back towards the near side boards. Played back along the near wall, a touch there from Cale Gruenberg, and Back into the Red River end once again with Caden Svoboda coming up with the takeaway for Red River. This hits Burke in the skate. It looked like he struggled to kind of pick up that puck as it came in on the left side of his net, and it turns into another net battle, or I should say wall battle, along the right side. This will float back onto the neutral zone, and Cullen Rost, a long rush to get back to it as Nolan Marto looks to chase him down. Newbert on the left side. He had a goal back in the opening frame as well. Lost the puck to the neutral zone. Turn off the boards. This one may be an icing call, and it will be. And that's going to bring us back into the central zone for a draw. Just a minute and 12 seconds off the all-true scoreboard here to start the second period.
Yeah, you know, you look at the score, you look at the shots. Probably pretty easy for Central to get a little bit discouraged, but I thought they actually had a really good first period. If I'm Coach Paneika, I'm pretty happy with the way they came out, the way they played. So, you know, I think if they stick to it, they'll be just fine here.
Got to find something to hang their hat on at this point, though. It's been a while since they had a good offensive opportunity in this matchup. The puck goes loose to Marto on the left wall, and Marto will bring it up through the neutral zone. Evades a little bit of traffic, flows his way into the far corner. Cam Urian will take him on. He put it back behind the net for Walkenfuss. Walkenfuss dodges a hit that was thrown by Cullen Rost. Ulmer tries to pit a puck in the corner. Now reaches back after the loose puck. Walkenfuss and Marto, actually Spicer are there. This works back out to the point. Nielsen a chance to shoot, then Cale Gruenberg blocks the shot. A pickup off the wall that time by Walkenfuss trying to backhand to Spicer on the high slot. Spicer turned it off the boards. Marto again looking in, driving through, hit the side of the net. Puck stays loose on that right side of the net. A flail by Spicer that knocks it away. Newbert will split a pair of defenders. And Ryland Burke will come out and look to transition this play. Plays it off the wall, back into the neutral zone, and chip back up into the central end. I was surprised that Burke decided to play that instead of take the icing call.
Yeah, that was surprising seeing him coming out and doing that.
Central will rotate one back into the Red River zone and then goes off on a change, and Cam Urian's back to pick it up. He tries to catch on a good transition play, turns it up the ice on the far side wall to Caden Benke on a stretch pass, and Benke ends up turning one back into the corner. Trey Clausen looks to chase it down for Central on the far boards. 2-0 in favor of Red River on the all-true scoreboard. 14:20 to play in the second period. Puck loose to the neutral zone, and this will split everybody. Icing will be the call, and we'll head back into the Grand Forks Red River zone for a draw. Coverage tonight brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. Grand Forks, Devil's Lake. The PS stands for Peaceful Season. They hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Now time to get back to the work of 2026, and if that involves a new garage door, PS Garage Doors is there to help. Call 772-DOOR. Loose puck off the draw, and Brecken Holtberg looks to pick it up. He had a very, very good first period for Red River. Breno out on the red line. Turns it away to Trey Clausen along the Grand Forks central line. Loose behind the play. Panzer turns it off the near boards, and another icing call coming up. This time we're headed back to the central zone for a draw. Well, not a lot of flow so far here in the second period.
Yeah, a little clunkier to start this one. The first period was a couple good shifts early, but this one here, I think both teams feeling it out a little bit.
We'll draw to the left of Ryland Burke for Grand Forks Central. Played a little better than 3 minutes of this second period now. Neither team with a good opportunity. You know, you look at the shots on goal, that jumps out at you. It's 10-2 in favor of Grand Forks Red River, and that's Red River's got 2 goals, but the strength has been from their blue line in. They really haven't given Central much to shoot at so far tonight.
No, they really haven't. I know Central's given them a tough time kind of breaking pucks out, but I do feel like Red River's done a pretty good job limiting chances from Central from kind of inside.
Clausen just got a snapshot away, and right there was Ryland Carenta. He hasn't been tested a lot tonight, but Carenta was pretty good on that play.
Yeah, he's looked calm the times he has been tested. He's looked pretty good.
They'll draw to the left of Carenta in the Grand Forks Red River zone, and Griffin Hoganson will match up once again with Cooper DeZiel. Hoganson wins the draw to the corner. Puck will float back to the near side. Breno looking to pick it up, nets off its pegs. Not sure if Carenta was contacted, but Carenta ends up on the ice, and that took the net off its moorings.
Yeah, it looked like the net kind of fell on him a little bit. I'd have to look at that again.
Clock will halt with 13:32 to play in the second period. We'll draw again. As you heard, Red River has West Fargo Cheyenne coming up on Thursday. That's a big matchup. I believe that's on the road down in West Fargo. And a win here tonight for Red River would set up a really nice showdown at that point with about 4 weeks left of the season. Loose puck off the wall. Brown coming back right side to Breno. His chance turned away by Burke. He comes out with a stick hand to knock that one loose. Loose puck back to Che Kwame in the neutral zone. Rivard now finding DeZiel. Rivard in the corner. Lost the puck, but DeZiel steps in to take control of it. Then Rivard tries to work counter to his direction to the far side. It'll rotate back towards the right wall where Mason Breno picks it up on the rush for Grand Forks Red River. Breno dumps down the wall. Burke is there. Backhands one towards the far corner. Waiting for it is Kwame. He plays it back out to center, and pass was knocked around a little bit, but Bina was able to get a touch on it for the Knights and works it back up into the offensive end, then takes on Cullen Rost, nearly tackles him up against the wall. Gruenberg had a chance at the puck and is able to fight it back into the neutral zone as he was going down. Newberg got a touch around the central line. He gets tied up on the boards by Walkenfuss. And the puck back to center where Caden Ulmer picks it up. Now Gruenberg off to the left. He had a play with Newberg. Newberg put it just wide. Good opportunity there for Red River, but it ends up just off the boards. Kwame coming back towards the right. Finds Logan Nielsen, who will step up into the offensive play. Nielsen sends one wide to the net. I'll chase over towards Walkenfuss to try to pick it up. Ends up below us again. Fights on along the near side boards for control. And is brought out by Nolan Marto. Marto looking to take a pass back from Nielsen. Ends up loose along the wall again. Newbert will turn it up the ice, trying to find Gruenberg on a stretch pass. Gruenberg will pick it up out of the corner, and I think a late whistle for offside is going to be the call here. I was waiting for it. Gruenberg seemed to jump up in the zone, and puck came up in front of him, but they didn't make the call until he got well past the goal line.
Yeah, I don't know if they called icing there or what the call was, but Newberg tried headmanning the puck, and I don't know if Gruenberg got a touch before it crossed the goal line there.
Looks like icing is the call because we're headed back into the Red River zone to draw. So not an offside call. We'd be on the central line. Instead, this is back in the Red River zone. Clock stopped right at 12 minutes. They were having a conversation. Media stoppage comes up first dead after 12, so they had to talk that one through. Puck comes back to the near side for Breno for Grand Forks Red River. 2-0 Rough Riders on the all-true scoreboard. 12 minutes and under now in the second period to play. A long puck up the ice. Panzer trying to chase it down. And he'll be defended from behind by Breno. Panzer's able to hold it up against the boards. Breno's there to put some pressure on. Hoganson stepping in now as well. Pulls it free, and Nolan Marto impedes his progress. It works back towards the right. Spicer will dump up into the neutral zone through the air. And back to get to it for Red River was Rylan Edmond, third pair defender. Loose again, picked up on the near side. This is a 3-on-2 odd man. Spicer a chance that gets kicked aside. Carinta was there. Spicer tries to chase it back down. Throws a body into the corner against Brody Lucier. And waiting for the puck on the right was Marto, who pulled it free. Loose to the bottom of the circle. Lucier gets to it again. Marto puts pressure on, and Bina pinches way up towards the circle to make the play. It comes loose to Hoganson, who will send it back out into the neutral zone. Knights look to get back onside. Blake will send one pass on a chip. It works back into the corner, and a turn by Rylan Edmond trying to get free of central pressure. He'll rotate it back towards the near wall. Chase Kulka's over to get a touch. Hoganson steps in now as well, throwing a body into the back of Brody Ledegy. Another chance that blasts wide from Central, and Kulka will come away with it on the far boards. He's cut off by Blake, and now Central turns it back up. Presting getting an opportunity, finding Ledegy. Ledegy in with a backhander. Carinta knocks it aside. Loose puck, high slot. Blake trying to fish it through. That was blocked by Thor Seeger. Back to Ledegy into the corner. Central back to it on the near edge. Kirkaby off to Blake, rotating his way down the wall. He'll come to a stop in the corner on a turn. Now Blake turns it back to the wall. Seeger jumping over to take control of the play. Ledegy again back behind the net. Seeger will put some pressure on Ledegy. And the loose puck comes back towards the near edge for Brody Lucier. And Grand Forks Red River once again. Central buries it behind the net. Presting steps in. Kirkaby with a touch on top of the Dashers. Back to Presting. He forces it past Seeger. Puck back up against the end wall. A chance to clear, deflected. Presting had a chance at the puck, couldn't find it. Back out to Burris with a drive that's off the chest of Carinta. On the weak side, a follow-up chance for Grand Forks Central. That came that time from Jacob Spicer. And it will finally rotate through the neutral zone for icing. And we'll see a stoppage and a media timeout with 9:33 to play in the second period of hockey. Wow, what a sequence. Still 2-0 Grand Forks Red River on the all-true scoreboard. We have a timeout for Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. And we're back with more next on KNOX.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's. Welcome back to high school hockey on the Rivard Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Leducer tonight from Blue Line Iceplex. And we just saw one of the best shifts of the game for Grand Forks Central, and it was the fourth line that put on the pressure on. Wow.
Yeah, and what a sequence from Rylan Corinta there. He had to make 3 or 4 just point-blank saves. First one, kind of Red River defenseman got caught up ice a little bit. Good scoring chance from Central off the rush. And then failed clear attempt by one of the Red River defensemen. I think it hit his defensive partner right in front of the net. And another opportunity for Central kind of right on top of the paint there, and Rylan Corinta was right there.
9:26 to play second period. We'll have a draw coming up in the Red River zone. And Central wins that draw and works it back to Bodie Burris on the high slot. Logan Nielsen right point, dribbling one through traffic. Off the end wall with Clausen trying to pick up the rebound. He couldn't find it, and Brecken Holtberg will come over to pick it up for the Rough Riders. Got it back as far as the center line. Nielsen dumps it back in right on Corinta. And the puck back towards the near corner for the Rough Riders as they again try to battle out of their own end. It's been a while. Cale Gruenberg up into the neutral zone. Gruenberg will leave it off towards the right side, finding Blaze Newbert. Back towards the high slot. Ulmer reaching for control, couldn't find it. It'll deflect off the boards. A body thrown by Spicer for Red River, actually for Central. Will force it back up into the neutral zone. Puck hits one of the officials, gets past Clausen, and the Riders are back to pick it off with once again Brecken Holtberg, who is steady Eddie defensively, and he'll send it out for perhaps an offside call. Brecken Holtberg, we can't say enough about his defensive skills. He showed them early tonight when Central had some good forecheck going, and he hasn't missed a beat so far tonight.
Oh, he hasn't. He's been so solid back there, and you know, as a kind of an upperclassman, those are the guys you want leading your team, especially from the back end there. Like if they're consistently breaking up plays and making it real tough for the opponent, the rest of the team just feeds off it, and it can be so impactful from the back end there.
Back in the far side, Carson Cutterbuff for Grand Forks Central breaks out with Ryder Rivard. He had it picked off as he came across the line, reaching the halfway point of the second period now. Red River leading by a score of 2-0 on the all-true scoreboard, and Central stymied a bit offensively here tonight. Shots on goal are just 10-6 in favor of the Rough Riders. And Red River saw some pretty good pressure from Central a couple of moments ago, their best chances of the night. Now puck on the loose side for Stetson Brown. Brown put it back behind the net. Panzer got a touch for Central. Turned it back over to the far wall. Cooper DeZiel will pick it out. Kwame trying to step his way through the neutral zone, found Rivard. Here comes Rivard, 3-on-3 up the ice. Rivard carrying it himself, took a hit from behind. We have not yet had a penalty tonight either, which is worth talking about. Brown will ice the puck. There you saw some contact from behind on the way in, but good clean contact. And the game has been played cleanly. We haven't played, or haven't said that yet, Ryan, but no penalties tonight.
Yeah, there's been a few that potentially could have been called, but I think the refs are doing a really good job of just kind of letting teams play and letting the players figure it out.
We'll draw to the left of Corinta in the Grand Forks Red River end. Nolan Martel will take the draw against Caden Ulmer for the Rough Riders. Puck on the ice, and Ulmer wins the draw. Red River's done a pretty good job of winning draws when they've been in their own zone tonight. Not really giving Central an opportunity to do much right off the draw. Blaze Newbert with a touch along the Grand Forks Central line, but it comes out quickly to Walkenfuss. He had it taken away from behind. A turn back up the ice for Caden Svoboda for Grand Forks Red River. He'll work to Newbert in the corner. Newbert trying to turn it back up along the boards. Walkenfuss will step in. Nielsen will step in as well. Works back to Holtberg, and Ryland Burke will step out and punch one away towards the right corner with a stick hand. Spicer turned it back up to the neutral zone for Central, looking to break out with Marteau. Knocked off Marteau's stick, and Holtberg turns it back to the left, but another icing call coming up against Red River on a bit of a mishandle. With 7:03 left to play in the second period, and the Riders leading 2-0.
Yeah, something Red River's done a really good job this period. They've really been aggressive with kind of their strong side defensemen. When they're defending off the rush, As long as they have back pressure from their forwards coming back, their strong side D-man will keep holding lines and making it tough on Central. So we'll see if Central can figure out a way to maybe chip one by and get maybe an odd man opportunity.
Trey Clausen versus Thor Seeger for the draw. Puck into the corner again. Big collision over there as Mason Bensley got tied up with Cam Urian. Meantime, Seeger comes out into the neutral zone with control of the puck for Red River. His chance in on Rylan Burke will be stopped. And Burke will hold for a whistle in the central zone with 6:51 to play in the second period.
Yeah, a lot better job this period, too, from the Riders. First period, they could not break a puck out, but this period they've found the middle of the ice a couple times, and their wingers have made some good plays on the half wall. So
towards the far wall off the draw, Kyler Beedall, who had an assist on the first goal tonight for Grand Forks Red River, gets a touch and sends it back into the central end. It's off the right boards. Comes back high slot, picked up there for Grand Forks Central by Jacob Spicer. Spicer looks up the ice trying to find Trey Clausen. Clausen had a touch, couldn't hold the puck. Back into the central zone. Burris will make the tap away back towards Trey Clausen, the neutral end. As we pulled up on the right side, Logan Nielsen backhands off the glass, chases his own loose puck down, put it back behind the net trying to find Spicer. Griffin Hoganson steps over to take control for the Rough Riders. Red River's on the break. Hoganson through the neutral zone, widening out right circle, chasing down, got out in front of the net. Burke reaches out to cover it up. Somehow Hoganson got free of Cutterba, and now we've got a little pushing and shoving coming up after the whistle. Looks like none the worse for wear. No harm, no foul here, Ryan. Just I'm from Central, I'm from Red River. Welcome to the show here tonight, I guess is kind of the end of that exchange.
Yeah, well, great play from Hoganson. You know, he's such a big body. When he can get some speed coming through the neutral zone like that, and Central's defensemen don't have the best gaps, that's so hard to defend. So big body like Hoganson, he should take that puck to the net every time.
Puck loose off the draw. Cutterba wins it for Grand Forks Central. He looks up the neutral zone. A breakout pass for DeZiel, scooped off his stick by Cam Urian. DeZiel found the loose puck, put it back out in front for Rivard, and Rivard got turned away from the spot by Cullen Rost, and that will take us to a media stoppage with the clock down to 5:53 to play in the second period of hockey. Red River maintains a 2-0 lead over Central on our All-True scoreboard. We have a timeout for Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel, and it's next on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight. Let's give you a Vegan Construction look-in brought to you by Vegan Construction, designers, builders, engineers. With nearly a century of quality work in the northern Red River Valley, Griffin Hoganson and Blaze Newbird score 3.5 minutes apart in the opening period. Central's been outshot 12-8, had just 2 shots until a few minutes into this third period. And now the net off its pegs as Grand Forks Central struggling to find offense. Red River continues to play strong defensively in their own end. And it's 2-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. And that is your Vegan Construction game look-in. Brought to you by Vegan Construction, designers, builders, engineers in Grand Forks. And I'm starting to see a little urgency creep into Grand Forks Central right now, Ryan.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of uncharted territory for them. I can't imagine they've found themselves about halfway or a little over halfway through a game with only 8 shots. So something they're probably not used to, but yeah, they're still playing hard.
That was the 9th shot. Carson Cutterba off the draw sends an arrestor, and Rylan Corinta there. Corinta stepped up to the challenge very well tonight as well.
Yeah, and we brought it up earlier, but he's looked pretty calm back there.
will draw again to the left of Corinta. DeZiel trying to throw a body in on Hoganson to win the draw. Brecken Holtberg scoops one up back behind the net for the Rough Riders. Turns it back left side for Caden Svoboda. Let's go back into the neutral zone. Cutterba was there. Comes loose towards the near wall. Central comes away with it. Breno high slot left side. Hoganson with a drive. That goes wide of the net. That happened very quickly.
Yeah,
Central comes back.
You saw Holtberg kind of step up there, hold a strong gap, and that whole opportunity started with him.
DeZiel got a shot away, and then a rebound came out in front. The puck was thrust into Corinta's chest. Corinta held it. Rivard ended up making some contact at the end of his path with Corinta. Riders take exception to it. We've got a slashing call coming up, I believe, against Red River, and we'll see the first power play of the night, or is it going against Central? Nope, Central's going to be hit for the slashing call, and Red River's going to go on the power play. And the officials talking something over at this point. I'm not sure what. They left the puck behind, so Corinta will go back and scoop it up. They haven't put anything on the board as of yet. It was an odd place to see a slashing call against Central in that situation. You would have thought maybe somebody took a defensive penalty, but right now below us, they must be talking something over on the end of that play.
Yeah, it looked like there were some hands to the face. I don't know if there was a face mask or what, but we'll listen in and hear.
Well, Ryder Rivard's going to go into the box for slashing. So Rivard goes in. Time of the penalty will be at 11:43 of the opening period. Rivard will get 2 minutes for slashing. And that'll bring us to our first power play of the night. It's a power play brought to you by RBB Electric. On call, on time, and online at rbbelectric.com. And you mentioned hands to the face. That was what kept DeZiel out of the first game between Central and Red River. He took one of those calls and ended up having to sit after the Fargo-Shanley game got weathered out. But right now, we see officials over talking with Grant Paneika, the head coach of the Knights, to our left, asking about the penalty on Rivard.
Yeah,
I thought I saw Rivard's head go back.
Yeah, I think they're asking about the slash. I think Brecken Holtberg ended up breaking a stick, but I don't think it was caused from Rivard slashing it. I think it just kind of got jammed up into the goalie and ended up breaking it. So I'm not sure what they saw, but maybe a valid argument from Central.
Power play for Red River leading 2-0. Big opportunity for the Rough Riders. Hoganson in the left circle brings one back to the point. Steers it back out to Holtberg, who will quarterback the power play. Back to Hoganson, top of the circle. Holtberg again, a stop and a look. Puck handling back towards the right. Cullen Rost into traffic. Knocked away. Puck's out loose in front of the net. Gruenberg shoveling after it, and he couldn't find it cleanly. It steered back into the right wall.
Yeah, there was a puck loose sitting there. Looked like Burke got a glove on it.
Back to the left side for Hoganson on the point. Red River power play continues. 1:20 left on the clock. Hoganson, high slot wrister. That's steered away. And a big glove save is made by Ryland Burke on the way through. He's had to be huge in the early moments of this power play. And Burke comes up with a stop to keep it a 2-0 game.
Yeah, he has. It looks like Red River's really trying to kind of load up Hoganson, kind of coming downhill there with some good pace. Real tough for a penalty kill to kind of read and react off that. But Ryland Burke kind of answered the call there.
There'll be 1:20 left to go on the power play clock. 4:36 to play second period. Riders leading 2-0 on the all-true scoreboard, and they have the first opportunity at the man advantage of the game. And we'll see a face-off blown dead. Ulmer looked to get the best of it, but we'll do it again to the left of Burke in the central zone. Clausen will face off against Ulmer. Clausen for Central, and Ulmer for the Rough Riders. And we'll have a hold-up momentarily as an official will come over and once again talk things over at the scorer's table. 4:35 remaining of the second. Red River gets one here, and it's an uphill climb for Grand Forks Central coming back. They've got the offense to do it, but Red River's been very sound defensively tonight. Clausen winning a draw. An immediate clear attempt comes out to the point. Rost held it, and Logan Nielsen tries to shovel it away, but perhaps mishit that. It goes into the corner. Caden Ulmer gets a stick, turns it back to Hoganson in the left corner for the Rough Riders. Clausen came over to defend it, shovels it off the wall. Long rush, Clausen trying to chase it down against Cullen Rost. It's not unlike Grand Forks Central to go looking for shorthanded opportunities, especially later in the game like we're at right now. Brecken Holtberg up into the neutral zone, dropping one for Hoganson. It's a takeaway. This is Spicer coming up. Spicer fires, and Corinta's there to make a huge save. What a takeaway by Spicer, and even better play by Corinta.
Yeah, it really was. Tough turnover from Red River there, but, keep saying it over and over, but Carenta just right there when he needs to be.
So we'll draw coming up in the Red River zone with 45 seconds left of Ryder Rivard's penalty. Our play brought to you by RBB Electric, on call, on time, online, rbbelectric.com. DeZiel winning a draw, and Shea Kwame turns it into the corner with a backhander, and Central's thinking offense right now. Kwame swarms to it, turns it back towards DeZiel in the corner. Cam Urian will turn it back up the left wall, and now we'll see if Red River breaks out correctly with Stetson Brown coming off towards the right. Knocked loose into the neutral zone. It'll be turned back to Cam Urian on the Red River line. Urian steps up ice, turns back into the corner. Long rush to get to it for Ryland Spicer of Grand Forks Central out on this penalty kill shift. Loose puck to the far wall. Caden Svoboda turns it back behind the central net. A turn by Newbert, who takes a hit from behind, but got it back towards the right point. And Red River gets back on the offensive side. Urian a drive, kick save by Burke, and he'll cover up between the legs and hold for the whistle with 1 tick left on the power play clock. Each team had scoring opportunities during this special teams chance.
Yeah, a lot of traffic in front there, but Burke did a really nice job kind of looking around it and didn't give up any rebounds.
We'll draw again in the central zone. Red River will get the opportunity to take the draw with a man advantage. And if they can win one, there will be a few moments before Ryder Rivard can catch up to his team. We'll see if the Riders can produce some offense off the draw. It's down, poked towards the corner. Thor Seeger able to win it. Comes back out towards the point. Drive into traffic. Loose puck. Thor Seeger scores. Thor Seeger picks up a loose puck that was driven in by Rylan Edmond. And Grand Forks Red River won't score on the power play, but effectively will score on the power play to make it a 3-0 Rough Rider advantage. We'll take a look at it again. Actually, we won't. Apologies. We don't have the replay for you. My apologies on that. But great. We will have it for you in the intermission report, so do stay with us. What a play that was. And just a puck held in by Edmond. Another little thing tonight, Ryan.
Yeah, it looked like Central was trying to spring Rivard coming out of their box. It looked like Brody Lucier was kind of bugging out a little bit, protecting that. But Edmond held the line and scored.
Marto comes back and scores for Grand Forks Central, and just like that, the game will change the other direction. Nolan Marto up the ice will score. It's just a few seconds after the power play goal, and the young man who continues to grow in this team makes it 3-1. This we will get a chance to take a look at on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. And here's a little thing for Marto. To the wall to pick up a puck, centers on his forehand on the high slot, and had basically a lot of zones to pick from there, Ryan.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it earlier with Red River's kind of strong side defensemen kind of holding lines. You saw it on Red River's goal there to make it 3-0. Edmond kind of held the line, but then kind of on the opposite end of things again, tried playing aggressive, holding the line, kind of got caught up ice, and Marto came down.
Spicer 4-on-3 comes in and scores off the backhand. Ryland Spicer coming in and scoring for Grand Forks Central, shifting to his backhand side. And just when you thought Central was in trouble, they're back within one. Another look at the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. This is pretty. Spicer dodges 2 defenders, shifts to the backhand side, and that's a textbook goal for Ryland Spicer to cut it back to a 1-goal margin. Wow.
Yeah, what a swing here the last couple minutes. It looked pretty grim for Central going down 3-0, but what a response from them.
So Spicer will score. The goals come at 13:50, 13:58, and 14:18. That would be a 28-second span. 3 goals. 1 for Red River, 2 for Central, and it's a 1-goal game. We got a fight coming up now. You just know it's going to break out into something. The atmosphere is cranked up, and it's back to a 1-goal margin between these 2 crosstown rivals tonight. And we've still got a whole period to play after these 2.5 minutes are gone by. Red River back in the central end with possession. Breno gets held up behind the net. Loose puck works to Cooper DeZiel. He rotates up the wall trying to find Kwame. It was held in by Stetson Brown for the Rough Riders. Breno throws a body to try to hold the puck. It circles back to Cullen Ross. Drive from the point that got blocked. Backhand pass from Rivard to DeZiel goes awry, and the puck will be thrust back into the corner by Cam Urian. And now we're going to see a whistle and maybe an offside call coming up here against the Riders. 2 minutes left to go of the frame. Ryan, I really thought when Red River went up 3-0, I'm like, okay, there's some control of the game here. And now no one has control of this game at this point.
Yeah, well, again, Central hasn't had the best of looks this game. And, when you go down 3 goals in a game like this, like those, especially going into the second intermission, like that can be real tough to kind of come out of. But what a response, starting with that goal from Marto there, and then was it Spicer that got the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a play by him, too.
And the same line, Marto, Spicer, both on that second line that's been so good for Grand Forks Central this year. They're both amongst the leaders in scoring for the Knights. And the Knights come away with possession in the neutral zone here with a clock at 1:40 to play. And Sam Presting, who's been all around it tonight for the Grand Forks Central Knights off that fourth line, digging for a puck underneath a pair of bodies behind the Red River net. Brecken Holtberg coming back towards the left wall, got turned around. This will come back to the point for Nielsen. Long drive into traffic, blocked on the way through. Loose puck comes back towards the near wall. Red River tries to take control of it, and they were able to find a touch from Kyler Beadall, who's played really strongly off that fourth line for Red River tonight. We're down to 1:10 to play in the second period. It was 3-0. It's now 3-2. Central's back within 1 of Grand Forks Red River. Presting coming up the wall. Fights one back into the central end. Cam Urian's over to cut it off. Urian cycling back towards the right. Long stretch pass into the neutral zone, looking for help. Puck goes loose behind Caden Ulmer. There's a battle for control below us along the scorer's table. It works back to Ulmer on the left side boards, and he'll steer it back into the central end. Nielsen over to try to pick it up. Cullen Ross got there first, and Ross will shovel it back towards the right corner of the central zone. Down to 40 seconds left of the period. This comes back out to neutral ice. Trey Clausen amongst some defenders from Red River, taking on 3 of them. Put it back behind the net. Cullen Ross just without his twig. Kicked the puck up against the wall to try to defend it against Trey Clausen. Now a pair of Knights run into one another. Cale Gruenberg picks up the puck. He's up ice with Ulmer, and Ulmer got pulled down from behind. We may see a penalty here. It looked like a stick got in on Ulmer and hooked him down. And I wouldn't be surprised we have a penalty there, and then we've got more extracurriculars with a clock down to 17.8 seconds left.
Yeah, I don't see a referee's arm up, but that's what you want to see from Red River if you're Coach Scarperud with Gruenberg and Caden Ulmer together. They've had a few nice plays kind of off the rush, finding each other. Just real nice plays from Gruenberg, making kind of little slip plays to Ulmer coming through the middle.
Second intermission is coming up. Intermission report will be brought to you by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. And we'll go through the highlights of this second period coming up for you, so do stay with us. We'll check the scores from around the Eastern Dakota Conference. Final 10 seconds and a breakout from Marto. Marto getting in, backhands one towards the net. Carinta slides over to cover it up to his left. And Central's going to play every second of every period here, it would appear.
Yeah, they really are. And again, you kind of saw it from Red River there, trying to hold lines with their strong side defensemen. Central found a way to get a puck past them, and good opportunity for them.
With 4.9 seconds left of the period, we draw in the Red River zone. That might be enough time here. If you're Central, it goes into the corner for Wakabusi. He put it out in front of the net. Blake with a chance that went just wide. Somehow they found an offensive opportunity with less than 5 seconds to play in the period. And we'll go to the third in a 1-goal game, 3-2. Red River over Central.
Yeah, wow. What an end to that period. The pace really picked up kind of after you saw that flurry of goals. Guys were finishing checks, and pretty good opportunities from both teams.
Well, we would hope that in a matchup between Central and Red River, what you get is a really good hockey game and a lot to look forward to in the third period. And this one's lived up to that. Red River takes a 3-goal lead, and Central breaks back with a couple of goals that were just 20 seconds apart to cut this thing down to 1. Now, Ryan, before we go to the intermission, let's talk about the momentum factor. I mean, it can be so huge in games like this. Red River's got the lead, but Central seems to be carrying the mo with them into the locker room.
Yeah, it's one of those as a coach and as a team. It's good when it's good, and it can be bad when it's bad. So you just want to do your best to stick with what you're doing, stick to what's giving you success, and short mindset in the game of hockey from one shift to the next, and also from one period to the next.
Well, we'll come back after a break. We'll take on our intermission report, take you through the highlights, scoring summary, our scores from around the league. Lots to do in intermission number 2, and we have it for you coming up. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network at KNOX Live Sports, and we're back with more next.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens.
At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need: turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto in Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. We'll go into period number 2 tonight with a great hockey matchup. Grand Forks Red River leading Grand Forks Central by a score of 3-2 in the crosstown battle between these two once again here this evening at Eagles Arena. Our intermission report brought to you this evening by High Plains Water. They're your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Leducer as we start period number 3. Well, Grand Forks Red River scored not necessarily a power play goal. They got to take a draw with 1 second left in the power play. Central had not yet gained full strength on the ice. That shows you how big a second can be. And then in 20 seconds, Grand Forks Central scores 2 goals to cut this to a 1-goal game. And they got a scoring opportunity with 4.5 seconds left off a draw. Turnovers, draws, every second of the game. It's been a coach's dream to watch the little things play out into what they've been tonight, Ryan.
Yeah, it really has, and that's really what you expect from games like this. With when it's Red River Central playing, guys are going to play hard. There's going to be momentum swings, so it's no surprise that the game's going the way it is.
Interestingly enough, for Grand Forks Central, it's Marteau and Spicer, Ryland Spicer, Nolan Marteau, that turned things around. Griffin Hoganson scored a goal tonight for Grand Forks Red River, but it was set up by a fourth liner in Kyler Beadall. And then a couple of players like a Thor Seeger who's scoring as of late. So it's been down the lineup for Grand Forks Red River, where Central turned right to their leaders to try to get back into the game.
Yeah, well, it's kind of what I talked about in the pregame. There's the horses that are probably going to score and get their looks, but a lot of times in games like this, it might be a player that you're not anticipating scoring, or someone who's been playing well as of late that might not get the minutes of some of those top guys, but guys that look to score when they get an opportunity.
Well, there are a lot of players that are trying to take advantage of their opportunities that we have in this one tonight. Let's take a look at the highlights that we have for you this evening. And once again, our highlights are brought to you tonight by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent. This is the power play goal, and again, a nice little play right there. A puck just kept in. Thor Seeger picks up the rebound. Red River's Rylan Edmond is who kept that puck in, and just like that, you're thinking Red River's up 3-0, and then just lightning strikes a couple of times in 20 seconds. Nolan Marto getting to the high slot on his forehand side, made that rush into an opportunity to cut the game to a 2-goal margin. And then you see Ryland Spicer through 3 defenders, coming back to his backhand side and squeezing one in short-sided for Grand Forks Central. And just like that, 20 seconds apart, 2 goals that will make it a 3-2 lead instead of a 3-0 lead for Grand Forks Red River. But again, little things. Spicer made a great play between a pair of defenders. Marto takes up a puck on a wall. You're right, Ryan. We haven't seen anything that resembles the tic-tac-toe in this one so far tonight. It's been all about who's making little plays and who's making them turn into big plays tonight.
Yeah, it really has. And what a response from Nolan Marto. You know, your team goes down 3-0, and that's just a high-end player making a high-end play and gets them right back into it. So it'll be interesting to see if Red River adjusts at all. I feel like they've gotten themselves in trouble a little bit, trying to play pretty aggressive with kind of that strong side defenseman. You kind of saw it on both Central's goals there. So, you know, it's one of those, they have success doing it. It's kind of live by the sword, die by the sword. So if they have success, stick to it. But, you know, there's chances Central can capitalize on it.
And, you know, I was just going to ask you, Ryan, as far as adjustments are concerned, up until the 2 goals for Grand Forks Red River, no adjustments needed. They had done everything they needed to do. I was really impressed with what they were doing defensively. Now, I suppose you have to be prepared for the transition play, that type of thing. Central just needs to pick up the energy. It seems to be that's where their strong point is when they're playing with it.
Yeah, and as a coach, you kind of just want to tell your players, hey, like, take what the game gives you. Don't try to overread something. But you know, as the clock kind of gets down here, we'll see if coaches kind of adjust a little bit. If Central finds themselves down, they might kind of hold lines a little bit more aggressive than what they've been doing. But again, you want to stick to what's given you success up to this point. So you don't want to start over-coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see what adjustments they make as they come back out. We're still waiting for our scoring summary from down below. Again, we don't hear a lot of things well here at the arena, so we don't have all the scoring to pass along to you. But when they do come up, we'll give those to you. And if not, then stick around because we'll go ahead and run through what we have as far as the unofficial scoring is concerned with our scoring summary coming up. And we'll look around the league to see what's going on out there as far as the latest that we have in scores from other games in the Eastern Dakota Conference. Our intermission report brought to you tonight by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water, and Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. It is 3-2 Red River over Central. And we're back with more next on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, and KNOX Radio from Blue Line Iceplex. Still waiting for our scoring summary here tonight. There might have been an issue with getting things put together correctly. So what we'll do is we'll bring you our Who Lit the Lamp, which is brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. And what we do know as far as the goals being scored, it was Thor Seeger at the 13:50 mark of the period. And then Grand Forks Central coming right back with a goal from Nolan Marteau at 13:58 of the period. And also Ryland Spicer with a goal that comes in at 14:18 of the period. So 3 goals in just 28 seconds. And again, Who Lit the Lamp brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. Seeger at 13:50, Marteau at 13:58, Ryland Spicer at 14:18. 5 goals, 5 different players. The depth is on display here tonight, Ryan.
Yeah, it is, and that's kind of what you see with these teams. You know, they have such strong rosters, top to bottom, and that's why, you know, the history of both these programs. You have success in the postseason because it's not just 1 or 2 guys doing it. You got a lineup full of guys that can go out and do what they need to do.
On the All-True scoreboard, scores around the Eastern Dakota Conference tonight. West Fargo Cheyenne rallies and defeats West Fargo tonight 6-2. 4 straight goals in the second period. Bennett Benson with a hattie tonight. Wyatt Matson with a hattie tonight. So a pair of men with 3 goals apiece for West Fargo Cheyenne as they win tonight by a final score of 6-2. So Cheyenne will stay in first place in the Eastern Dakota Conference. Fargo North fights off Devils Lake tonight. 5-4, the final score in that matchup. But that's a huge win for the Spartans that took place there when they needed it. And that game will end up going to overtime. And Holden Eberle will break the overtime tie at 4 apiece after Weston Stromey tied the game in the third period for Devils Lake. So Fargo North with 3 big points, rather 2, as they win in overtime by a final score of 5-4. And the other matchup in the Eastern Dakota Conference tonight, they're still in progress between Davies and Shanley, and it's 2-1 Davies in that matchup. Davies coming back with 2 goals in the second period of that matchup, and so a 2-1 matchup there in the Eastern Dakota Conference. All right, now we have the scoring summary, so we're able to get that for you one more time with Who Lit the Lamp, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. In that second period, Thor Seeger assisted by Brody Lucier at 13:48 officially. 13:58, it's Nolan Marteau with a helper from Gavin Walkenfuss, and then Ryland Spicer from Nolan Marteau and Gavin Walkenfuss at 14:18. That second line erupting for a pair of goals for Grand Forks Central, and in the process, they ended up with 5 points that came 20 seconds apart, and it's 3-2. Knights down by 1 as we go to the third. Well, let's see what the third period has in store for us.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how each team comes out here, if they're aggressive or if they're maybe a little bit hesitant, just kind of based on how that second period ended.
I don't see Grand Forks Central letting up, and I don't know if Red River's going to either, but it'll be interesting to see what happens here as the draw ends up in the Grand Forks Red River zone. Puck over towards the far boards. Bina tosses one into traffic. It'll go loose off the wall. Rivard turns it back towards the point. Bina playing it back down the wall, but it got picked off. And Red River will come back with the possession from Griffin Hoganson along the far boards. Bina back to pick it up. Hoganson keeps the puck in the corner. Bina came to a stop behind his own net, turned it back out to Rivard. Long play for Kwame, a bit too strong. This will be icing against Grand Forks Central. And we'll head back into the Red River, rather Central zone for a draw.
Yeah, one thing I've been impressed with Central, they got 3 sophomore defensemen back on their decor there. And, you know, all three of them kind of at different points tonight have just kind of made solid plays for, again, for young kids, for underclassmen in a game like this. To just kind of have some of that poise to make plays, it's got to be pretty exciting for Coach Paneika to see that.
Puck knocked loose. Cam Urian goes back to get to it for Grand Forks Red River after Central pushed the draw back out towards the neutral zone, and we'll see a whistle. And it looks like we're going to come back into the Red River zone for a draw. Our third period brought to you tonight by PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for perfect service. If you need service for your garage door, any make and model, call PS Garage Doors. 772-DOOR, that's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. Grand Forks Devils Lake, PS Garage Doors, working with you throughout the region. Draw in the Red River end, and it's won by Ryland Spicer. From the high slot, a drive that goes wide of the net somehow got through. It's held down by Marto on the right wall, and a blast from the wing, and now we'll see another whistle. Well, this is the second time that we've seen a whistle over here, and not sure if it was touched on the bench.
Yeah, it looks like a helmet may have came off, but kind of hard for us to see kind of that half wall down there. But
clock at 16:08 to play of the third. Scoreboard updates tonight are brought to you by Altru. Regular screenings with Altru's care team can detect illness before symptoms occur. Stay in the game of wellness. Call 780-5000 or visit altru.org to schedule an appointment. Mason Breno will send one up into the central zone. And the Knights rally back to it, then turn it over. Hoganson had a chance to step in. Loose puck back to Marto at center ice. Marto leaves it back along the line. Will be backhanded back further by Nielsen, but loose to the far side. Breno through the neutral zone for Hoganson, and then picked off his stick, and Bodie Burris will dump this back into the Red River end, and Burris gets all up into the feelings there of Mason Breno coming into the backside. Walkenfuss took it out of the corner, plays it back to the high slot, turned over by Panzer. Loose puck taken away by Breno. He's driving up the ice, has an angle by himself, but got turned aside as he went to the far corner. Now in the process, Wyland Burke, who thought he had to make a stop, ends up losing his stick. It's retrieved on the far side by Jacob Spicer, and the puck will go loose into the corner where Bodie Burris will play it back to the neutral zone, and we'll see icing against Central.
Yeah, what a back check from Jacob Spicer there. It looked like Breno was going to kind of go in all alone, but Spicer didn't give up on the play.
But that shows you here, Central feels like they got to roll the dice a little bit. They've been a bit exposed here in a couple of rushes.
Yeah, they really have, and obviously they're going to do what they can to put a puck in the net.
They'll draw to the left of Burke, the goaltender for Grand Forks Central, and ends up over on the far boards. Red River will hold it down with Chase Kulka into the corner. A reach back by Caden Benke, and a steer loose by Trey Clausen. Clausen comes up to Bensley, who knocks one loose into the Red River zone, but back quickly to pick that one up as Brody Lucier has been very active as a defender here tonight. Puck loose back into the central zone once more. A touch by Carson Cutterbuck. Cutterbuck gets back behind the central net. Off towards the right for Presting, and now back to Jacob Spicer through the neutral zone to Bensley on the left point. Bensley trying to rush into the corner. He got hounded by Brecken Holtberg, and then both Holtberg and Bensley end up on the ice. Puck pulled loose out of there. A step towards the net that time by Jacob Spicer. He ends up losing the puck. It'll go back to the far boards. A hit thrown in on Chase Kulka, who tried to step up into the neutral zone. Central goes back to get a loose puck. Back up ice, it's Blake looking for a pass through the neutral zone. Touch up there from Brody Ledegy for Grand Forks Central. He was all around it earlier tonight. Bina tried to pull his way in. He gets pulled down by Newbert from behind. I think the Central crowd wanted a hooking call there. They won't get it. Meanwhile, the puck rotates back out towards the left. Taken there by Ledegy. He fights one through the neutral zone. Holtberg over to get a touch on the puck. Loose again towards the left as Ledegy charges into it. And finally, the puck over to Brecken Holtberg for Grand Forks Red River along the left wall.
Yeah, well, there you see Logan Bina just getting real active. Talked about him earlier, but those sophomore defensemen with Logan Bina, Bodie Burris, Carson Cutterbuck, all three of them are playing with seniors there. So kind of maybe a little bit of a comfort thing for them, kind of having that kind of, I guess, veteran presence on the other side for you. But really, all three of those guys, Bina, Burris, and Cutterbuck, they've all made a lot of really nice plays tonight.
And we've seen Bina making some good offensive plays as of late as well. He's really growing into a nice role. Probably not a sophomore anymore, with a lot of minutes that he's played so far this year. Off the right, Cale Gruenberg looking into the corner for Caden Ulmer. Ulmer turns it back towards Gruenberg on the half wall in the central zone. Red River moving from right to left in this third period for those of you on the radio side. Gruenberg pulled one free to his forehand side. Irian tried to step in and take control. Instead it went loose off the near edge, and a drive up the ice by DeZiel. Loose puck picked up there by Kwame. He'll find Rivard. Rivard trying to come back to Kwame. That pass broken up. Ross trying to come up the ice, and Rivard came over, picked his stick, was able to force a bit of a turnover, but Caden Ulmer will take a pass away for Red River before Central can step up into the offensive end. And a chip down the ice by Gruenberg will facilitate a change for the Rough Riders. Long stretch pass picked off by Hoganson, intended for Rivard. Hoganson up ice, down numbers, got to the high slot, had it poked away by DeZiel, who chips off the glass. Hoganson got to the chip and was able to hold the offensive end for Red River. Now it sprays out to center. Rivard had it and immediately lost control of the puck, taken back by Brody Lucier for the Rough Riders. Back in the central end, a steer right by Cutterba, and this will be icing coming up against Cutterba. We'll head back into the central zone for a draw with 12:30 remaining in the third. 3-2, Rough Riders by 1 on the all-true scoreboard. I don't know what's going to give next. You feel like the next play is going to be a big one no matter what. It's going to be a big play. We'll draw to the right of Ryland Burke for Grand Forks Central in the central end. Hoganson picks up the puck, looks down to Stetson Brown below the goal line. Brown gets stood up by Panzer. Panzer trying to pull the puck free, comes out towards the right, found Marto. And here comes Marto with Walkenfuss on his left. Walkenfuss back to Marto, split a pair of defenders somehow with a pass. Got it to Marto, plays it out in front. A one-timer by Walkenfuss is hit just wide. They had the angle, couldn't quite find the shot to stay accurate. It goes loose to the high slot.
This has been Central's best line by far. I feel like every time they've been on the ice here, they've generated offense for them.
That was a good opportunity for Central. Meanwhile, a clearing play knocked around by Logan Bina back on the central line. Bina looks up the ice. Walkenfuss got to it, took a shot from behind, but held his ground. Bina steers it into the wall, and the puck comes free towards the far end. A touch up now by Grand Forks Red Rivers Chase Kulka, and Kulka will drive one up into the central zone. Back to get to it is Ryland Spicer for Grand Forks Central. Spicer a stop and a look. Slows down the momentum, turns it back left side. Got a chip from Walkenfuss, they'll wave off icing. Central wants to change. Here comes Trey Clausen's line. The puck picked up by Svoboda for Grand Forks Red River. Bina will dump one in from the half line. And now Central tries to chase to it along the left-hand boards. To be cleared out by Red River. Nielsen, long play to find Bensley on the left point. Bensley finding Clausen. They just stayed on side. Clausen lost an edge trying to pivot. It goes loose to Bensley. He tries. Corinta knocks away a shot and then a rebounded chance. Logan Nielsen with a backhander, and Corinta came sliding across the crease to save the lead for Red River. Wow.
Yeah, what a look for Nielsen. It kind of jammed him a little bit. He had to use his backhand, and a lot of spin coming off those pucks off that rebound there, but Ryland Corinta was right there.
Back up ice, Bodie Burris will dump it into the right corner. 3-2 Grand Forks Red River. 10.5 minutes to play in the third period on the all-true scoreboard. Puck back on the right point, dumped into Clausen in the corner. Clausen trying to turn it back up the near side wall. He's got company stepping in. This will come back towards the near side. Quick pass that got to the high slot there, and a wave by Brody Ledege that ends up just empty. Kirkaby stays with the puck in the corner for Central. Thought about wraparound, turns it back on his backhand side. Corinta knocked it away. Ledege's there, backhands it back to the crease, then has it shoveled off the end wall, and Panzer holds the offensive end, taking a big hit from Cale Gruenberg. Back towards the right, Cutterba with a chance that got blocked and turned into the corner. He was fronted by Blaze Newberg. Puck back behind the net, Presting trying to dig it back out. It'll work back towards the right corner. Back up towards the near side for Newbert for Grand Forks Red River, and the Rough Riders will send it down the ice. No icing here. They'll wave it off. Panzer, long stretch play, got turned around on a hit left side from Brecken Holtberg. That took away his intended receiver on the play, Brody Ledege. Back out to the first line for Central. Rivard trying to trap a puck back behind the net, and Presting slow to get up, holding the back of his head for Central. Meanwhile, Stetson Brown for Red River, and we've got a whistle for offside. And we're going to see Sam Presting coming off the ice. Central's chirping for a penalty. They want one called there, and they're not going to see one called here, and there's a confrontation going on between the official and the coaching staff.
Yeah, it looked like the official was right there looking at it. Obviously unfortunate for Presting to kind of come up slow, but yeah, I hope he's okay.
Draw one by Grand Forks Red River. They'll dump it in immediately. Burke holds it up behind his own net. Now a broken down transition play. Steers a puck back from Blake towards the near side. Cooper DeZiel trying to get on a breakout. He went looking for Rivard on the left, and It looks like when that line's on the ice right now, Grand Forks Red River is going to keep a forward back and do a little trapping. We see that on that breakout.
Yeah, well, and that's what you want if you're Red River. Like, if they're going to keep playing aggressive with kind of their strong side defensemen there, like, as long as they have back pressure, keep squashing plays and making it tough for Central on the rush.
Well, draw to the right corner. I love the discussion about the neutral zone trap and what it does to the game.
Yeah, well, it's such a tough zone to get through. Like, if a team is so solid in the neutral zone, like, it can make it so tough and so frustrating on teams if you can't generate anything off the rush, or if you're forced to get to a line and dump a puck, it can just totally disrupt how you play.
Kale Gruenberg up ice. What a pass to Newbert. He fires in a block. Ryland Berg steps out to take that one away after Newbert took a great pass from Gruenberg and nearly put another one on the board for Red River. Now into the puck back behind the Central net. It's held up there. Another transition for Blake, taking one from Bina. Back off to the near side for Kwame. That's going to be too strong. They're waving off icing. They'll say this was touched up. The Red River crowd doesn't like that. Kwame trying to race it down, rotates back into the neutral zone. They'll find Newbert again. Touch pass to Caden Ulmer, broken up there. Kwame on the left looking for DeZiel. He's got a 3-on-2 odd man, but they're offside on it. And that's going to bring us to the media stoppage with the clock down to 8 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the third. Still our second period score on the board. Red River 3, Central 2 on the All True scoreboard. Our timeouts are brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop, and Big Jim's Tire, the #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. We're back with more high school hockey next on KNOX.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always calls ahead to schedule service. We are online always. If you suffer from slow download speeds, call our certified network designers and installers. On call, on time, and online. RBB Electric won't leave you in the dark. RBB Electric, your 24/7 electricians.
Welcome back to high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. A vegan construction game looking. Brought to you by Vegan Construction, designers, builders, engineers in Grand Forks. Central scoring a couple of goals 20 seconds apart to cut into a 3-0 lead at the end of the second period. So far, Central's been around a couple of plays. Each team has made some miscues, but nobody's found the scoreboard. And Central still trailing by a score of 3-2. And again, a Vegan Construction look-in brought to you by Vegan Construction, designers, builders, engineers in Grand Forks. We'll draw on the Grand Forks Red River line following an offside call against Central. 3-2 your score with Red River leading by 1. A long shot from Nielsen, a wrister into the corner. Walkenfuss trying to hold the puck back down, goes looking for Spicer. 2-on-2 there. Red River kind of getting bodies to it. Gruenberg there, Ulmer's there, and Ulmer pulls it out for the Rough Riders and starts back up the ice on the left side. This will trickle back into the neutral zone, found Gruenberg. He and Newbert coming up the ice, and we'll see a play from Bodie Burris to take the puck away from Gruenberg. It goes loose in the corner. Gruenberg turns it back out to the point. Cullen Rost is there, back into the corner for Newbert. Steep angle, this turn towards the net, touched by Gruenberg, but Logan Nielsen will come over to cut it off. And a trip coming up here. We're going to see no call being made. Now we will see a call being made, and now we'll see if Central will get the power play they were looking for. We saw a trip on the near side. The penalty was late coming up, but apparently it's going to come up, and Central's going to go on the power play down a goal with 7:41 to go. Well, this is a huge moment in the game now, Ryan Leducer. Grand Forks Central's power play can really do some special things, and Caden Ulmer is going to be in the box for tripping.
Yeah, kind of a double whammy for Red River there. Like, Caden, he's so good at taking face-offs here, especially on a penalty kill. So kind of one of your better players in the box here at kind of an inopportune time for the Riders.
7:41 to play of the third. Caden Ulmer for tripping. RBB Electric power play for Central, down a goal. Brought to you by RBB Electric. On call, on time, online. RBBelectric.com. Nielsen off towards the right, finding Rivard. Left side picked up and then picked off from Cooper DeZiel. He mishandled one. And immediately a big play by guess who? Brecken Holtberg for Red River. Back to the field, they get onside. Now DeZiel's got an angle, driving in, firing in. A puck turned away in front by Carinta. It's loose underneath Carinta as Rivard waves at the rebound. Carinta will cover and hold for the whistle just 21 seconds into the man advantage.
Yeah, that was a solid post there from Cooper DeZiel. Pretty good look. Looked like kind of a bouncing rebound, but Carinta was able to find himself back where he needed to be.
Only 35 shots between the two teams tonight. That's how good this hockey game has been. 18-17 shots Red River. We will draw in the Red River zone with 1:39 remaining of the power play for Central. And DeZiel's group will stay out for another shift on the power play. Rivard in the right point, trying to turn the puck back towards the high slot for Nielsen, poked away. Burke will come over towards the near wall, looking to make a transition play. Rings this back behind the net as Mason Breno was putting in some pressure for Grand Forks Red River. Nielsen back towards the near side, looking up ice. Crisp pass to Shea Kwame in the neutral zone. Kwame leaving one off towards the left for Rivard. He puts one towards the net. Knocked loose, another block shot, and a puck cleared off the far wall. Great defensive play by Caden Svoboda for Red River. Stretch pass coming back up the ice, though. DeZiel somehow manages to stay onside, turns one back towards the left for Ryland Spicer, and the Knights very quickly get back into the power play cycle. 55 seconds of the man advantage remaining. Nielsen whistles one off the glass. Rebound comes back out to Cooper DeZiel. DeZiel into the corner. Spicer charging short-sided, tried to get in, got turned away. Puck's loose behind the net. Kwame looking to make a play, trying to find DeZiel. It was cut off on the way back out by Cale Gruenberg. Stays back into the corner. Spicer turning it back towards the corner for DeZiel. Kwame comes back high slot, finding Rivard. Nielsen right point. Drive in, turned away by Carinta, and another clear. Burke comes up, another long transition play, trying to find DeZiel, who will chip it up into the neutral zone, and Central will change up their power play unit with 15 seconds left of the man advantage. Burke knocks out another clearing opportunity towards his net. Blake comes back with it for Grand Forks Central, got knocked down by Hoganson from behind. Marto steps in, finding Blake. 5 seconds left on the power play for Central. They could possibly gain the offensive end, still in the man advantage. They will not. Offside will be the call against Central, and we're coming back out on the Red River line for a draw, and that's the end of the power play.
Now, what a huge kill from Red River there. You know, Central had a couple pretty good looks. Again, Carinta made the saves he needed to, but yeah, what a kill from the Riders.
That'll bring us down to 5:41 left to go with the third. Somewhere East Grand Forks is watching this matchup. Their game is over with Roseau tonight. And if Red River holds on, East Grand Forks has got the Gambucci Cup, which is on the line this evening. Right now it's 3-2 in favor of the Rough Riders. There's also 3 big points in the EDC on the line here. Brecken Holtberg coming up the ice against Blake for Central. Holtberg got turned around in the corner. Battles on for control there. It works behind the net. Bina stepping over the puck, but is able to turn it back to Kirkaby. Kirkaby through the neutral zone on a backhand play. Svoboda knocks it down for Red River and turns it back up ice. It'll come back towards the far side for the Rough Riders. Kyler Beedall, who was all around a couple of plays earlier for Red River tonight, had an assist. Kirkaby will turn it aside. He's all by himself up the ice, sends in a shot. Carinta makes a kick save, but surrendered a rebound. Puck comes back to the point for Ledegy. He turned it back into the corner. This fourth line has been active for Red River all night tonight. A loose puck again. Kirkaby high slot into the circle. Driving, short-sided attempt. Got blocked on the way in. Martos coming out to start a change for Grand Forks Central. He had a touch on the puck, and this will float back out as near as the near side point. But Grand Forks Central holds the offensive end. Spicer. Walkenfuss now joins the opportunity for Grand Forks Central. Walkenfuss a turn. Little chip by Marto into the corner, who was camped out on the high slot. Svoboda tries to turn it out, and it's held in on the far side by Spicer. Central stays on the attack. Spicer, high slot, wrister, drives, and he scores! Ryland Spicer with the wrister from the high slot will tie the game, and we'll go into the final 4 minutes, 20 seconds of the matchup, all even at 3.
What a play by Spicer. Looked like he just got it off the half wall, walked to the slot, and beat one high. Let's take a look.
American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agency replay. And there's Spicer, yep, from the half wall, just got through traffic, and maybe Carinta's eyes taken away. You could see there were a couple of Rough Riders in his path there that he maybe prevented him from picking up the puck, but we've got a tie game at 3 apiece with 4:20 to play in regulation. Wow, what a game this has turned into tonight, a classic. Grand Forks Central will take control of the ensuing draw. We're all even at 3. Nielsen back in his own end, turning it back towards the left, finding Bodie Burris. Burris up ice to chip for DeZiel. He gets corralled as DeZiel tried to bring it up in the offensive end. Rylan Edmond was there to deflect it. Now back left side again. Burris coming up ice. Burris a drive to the weak side. DeZiel waved at it and came up just empty on the opportunity. Back out in front towards DeZiel. Loose puck. Kwame charging down the house, looking to make a play with the backhand. Now comes back forehanded side. Shorthanded, missed it. And Carinta goes down to cover it up to hold away from DeZiel, looking for an opportunistic rebound.
Yeah, well, what a shift from Central, too, after the goal there. It kind of feels like Red River's just barely hanging on right now. Central's doing a good job, but really not giving them anything. So, yeah, probably a pretty important whistle there from Red River.
Third line coming on the ice for Grand Forks Central. It seems like the rotation here is 2-1-3. That's the way they're going through it at this point.
Yep, yeah, and you know what? Both teams have gotten some pretty good minutes from kind of their bottom line players.
Puck back out in the neutral zone off the draw. Jacob Spicer will turn it back in the Red River end. Back to get to it, Cullen Rost for the Rough Riders. Rost will come back towards the near side. Puck deflected loose, ends up back down in the corner. Bensley will charge after it after Cam Urian tried to turn it away. Riders will turn it back into the neutral zone. Bina backing up to try and stay in front of Ulmer. Ulmer pulled it free, made a pass, but Spicer picked it up. Then he turned it over high slot. Rost with a drive and a save made by Rylan Burke.
What a save from Burke. I think that's only second puck to the net from Red River this period here, but both of them have been real good looks, so he's had to make some saves when he's had to.
22-19 shots on goal. Central, keep in mind, that was 10-2 Red River at one point. That shows you a little bit about what Central's defense has been about here since the end of the first period. Puck off the draw is loose. One of the Rough Riders goes tumbling. That was Newbert. Loose puck battled for Walkenfuss on top of the circle. Marteau drags it free. Spicer and Marteau on the right side of the ice. It'll be Nolan Marteau into the corner. He goes looking towards Spicer. The puck was broken up, comes back to the point. Blake a drive that's wide of the net. Bina tries to chase it down for Central. He's defended by Cullen Ross for Red River. Gruenberg turns it back into the corner for the Rough Riders. Battled for along the boards again. Back to the high slot. Spicer once more. Just scored a moment ago. Another restore into traffic. That time Carinta reaches down and snares it with a glove hand.
Yeah, pretty similar to how he just scored. Maybe a little bit higher out, but you know, it's kind of a tale of two separate teams here. Like when you look, Central's outscored their opponents 23-6 in the third period, where Red River kind of on the opposite side here. They've been outscored 15-13. So not I don't know, not Red River's strongest period here kind of throughout the season.
Off the draw, puck batted through the slot. It was first touched by Panzer on the point. Comes loose to Svoboda for Grand Forks Red River, and he'll bring it up the ice, being ridden the entire way by Che Kwame. Cutterbuzz over to pick it up. He'll drive one towards the corner for Red River, and here comes another penalty. I think the Rough Riders are going to the box for another tripping call. It'll be an interference call that's coming up, and it looks like Griffin Hoganson is going to be the guilty party. So now Central going to go on the power play with only 2:24 left of the third, and Griffin Hoganson, one of the most dynamic skaters Red River has, is going to be the man in the bin.
Yeah, that's a tough call there for Red River. It looked like accidental contact from up here, but yeah, nonetheless, he's going to the box.
Time of the penalty is at 14:36 of the third period. It's a tie game at 3 apiece on the all-true scoreboard, and the Riders back on the the Knights on the power play. The Knights are 0 for 1 on the man advantage tonight. DeZiel with the drive, short-sided from the left circle.
Looks like another penalty on Red River here.
Oh boy.
I didn't see what happened.
I didn't see it either, but the Riders saw the extra attacker come on the ice in the form of Gavin Walkenfuss, and Red River is going to be down 2 men for 1:50. Now wait, they put the penalty on the Central side.
I think that's an error. I think they put it up twice on the previous penalty there. Savoda in front, I'm guessing he gave a Central player a good whack.
It's a slashing call against Svoboda. Time of the penalty will be at 14:46. And so now 1:50 of 2-man advantage for Grand Forks Central in a 3-3 tie late in the third period. On top, it's DeZiel, a drive up and over the bar. Huge kill necessary here for the Rough Riders to try to stay in it. Nielsen off to the left side. DeZiel back to Nielsen, high slot again. Measures his options. DeZiel one-timer, driven it towards the near side of the net. It'll come back over towards the left. Ryland Spicer picked it up. Back to DeZiel again. Top of the left circle. Pass to Nielsen, right point. Now to the doorstep. Quick pass across the slot, or actually the crease. Picked off by DeZiel. Nielsen into traffic up and over the bar. 1 minute, 14 seconds remaining of two-man advantage for Grand Forks Central. RBB Electric power play. Brought to the right point by DeZiel. He'll line up Nielsen. Nielsen will step back towards the high slot. Back to DeZiel again. He drives one. Corinta knocked it down with the glove hand. It may be loose. Corinta reaching after it. Lays out and covers it to his right to hold on with 58 seconds of two-man advantage remaining.
Yeah, that puck was laying there for a quick bit, but did a nice job covering that up to not allow any more chances.
The Knights will change up their power play unit.
I wouldn't doubt if we see a timeout here from Central, but
we'll see Clausen come out along with Marteau and Walkenfuss and two defensemen. Blake out there along with Bina. So they'll go 3-2 on their split here. And this is an interesting power play unit with Clausen and Marteau teaming up with Walkenfuss. Blake winning it. Marteau high slot. Back to Blake taking a look. Now Marteau off the right circle. A look down towards the left corner. Clausen rotates back to Blake. 45 seconds left of two-man advantage for Grand Forks Central. Marteau a look. Steps out towards the right circle. Now slowly drifts back high slot. Puts it down low. Little backhander. Marteau picks up a rebound and goes wide of Corinta. It's loose on top of the crease. Back to Marteau. High slot. Looking, picking, firing. Turned aside. Walkenfuss a backhander towards the crease. Broken up by Cullen Rost. It works back to the high slot again for Blake. And Marteau on top of the right circle. With now 19 seconds left to two-man advantage. A one-timer by Walkenfuss. He whiffed on it. 15 seconds left to two-man. One-timer. Clausen scores. Trey Clausen waiting for a one-time opportunity that was set up out of the corner from Walkenfuss. Central will score on the two-man advantage to take a 4-3 lead with just 36.5 seconds left to go.
Yeah, what a play from Walkenfuss. It looked like Red River was almost going to kill that off. I think their penalty killers were out there basically that entire kill.
American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Walkenfuss fans on the one-timer, goes to the corner, and then sets it up for Trey Clausen, short-sided, to come up with a one-timer for Grand Forks Central. And the Knights will go up 4-3. They've scored 4 consecutive goals, and they remain on the power play for another 23 seconds. Central gets one man back, but will still be short-handed until about the 13.5-second mark. Wow. What a turn of events we've had in this one. Seems like we've said wow 100 times tonight. Yeah. Ulmer, Hoganson for Red River trying to answer. Kwame comes away with possession for the for the Knights. Cullen Ross back to get to it. Cycles one out towards the far side. Loose on the point. DeZiel holds it in. Rivard turns one wide of the net. Back over to the near side for Caden Ulmer. Broken up into the neutral zone. 15 seconds left of regulation. Puck pushed back down. We'll see a whistle. And it looks like a draw coming up. Not sure if that was offside or icing. I think it was icing against Central. Post-game report is on the way, should we end up there. And in the post-game report, we'll take you through all the highlights in this one and come back with our player awards as well. Post-game report will be brought to you tonight by Spray Advantage and the Ski and Bike Shop. Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. The Ski and Bike Shop where your next adventure begins. Red River will call for timeout with 13.9 seconds left in regulation. They're going to get an offensive zone draw, and the power play clock, I think, is off at this point, so they're full strength. Yep. So might as well yank the goalie and see what happens for 13 ticks.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a 6-on-5 kind of opportunity for Red River here. I'm assuming they'll have Caden Ulmer take the face-off, but kind of a fortunate whistle for them. It looked like Central was close to getting the red line there. They could have got a puck in, try run the last 13 seconds off, but yeah, gave Red River a chance for a timeout, and they're obviously going to try set up an offensive opportunity here.
Folks, can't tell you the hockey community turned out for this one tonight. We've had great viewership on KNOX TV on YouTube, but we also had a full house here tonight at Blue Line Iceplex and a loud crowd for both teams tonight. This has just been a fantastic display of high school hockey tonight. And thanks to everybody who was a part of it, because this was a great place to be on a Tuesday night in Grand Forks. But we're not done yet. 4-3 Central. Red River with the goal empty. Extra attacker on the ice. There's 10 seconds to play. The puck's loose on the right. Central clears one. That may end it. And now DeZiel going up the ice with Cullen Rost out of the corner. Backhanded one wide to the net. Ross took a hit on the back end of that as well. And Grand Forks Central holds on for a 4-3 win. Central rallies after being down 3-0. 2 goals, 20 seconds apart in the second period that reset everything. And then the goal by Trey Clausen with the 2-man advantage to give Central the victory. And Red River is going to feel like, well, if nothing else, no one's into moral victories, Ryan, but Red River knows they can beat this Central team even when Central's playing very well, and Central did play well tonight. Red River had them on the ropes, but Central gets the nod.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to feel like maybe that game slipped out of their hands a little bit. You know, you go up 3-0, scoring at the tail end of a power play there. But, you know, what a response from Central to come back and score shortly after that to make it 3-1, and then, again, to make it 3-2. But, you know, that late power play opportunity for Central is ultimately the play of the game there.
The decider in this one tonight. Stick around. Our post-game report brought to you by Spray Advantage in the Ski and Bike Shop on the way. We will take you through all the highlights that we had in this one tonight, so hang on for that coming up in just a moment. The highlights are coming up first in the post-game report, and that post-game report is next. Final score tonight, Central with a 4-3 victory over Grand Forks Red River. And we're back with our post-game report next on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX Postgame Show. Brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports from from Blue Line Iceplex here tonight, formerly known as Eagles Arena here in Grand Forks. Grand Forks Central comes from behind tonight to defeat Grand Forks Red River by a final score of 4-3, a power play goal on the 2-man advantage for Grand Forks Central is the difference in this one tonight, and certainly not the difference that Grand Forks Red River was looking for. While we were away, they did award the Gambucci Cup, and the Gambucci Cup will go to Grand Forks Central tonight, as Central ties East Grand Forks with 9 points in the Gambucci Cup Series this evening, and Central, by virtue of goal differential, will take home the Gambucci Cup. But this one was a heck of a hockey game. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Leducer with you here tonight for KNOX Sports. And a 3-2 lead, but a 3-0 lead for Grand Forks Red River, and that's going to haunt the Rough Riders as they come out of this one tonight. You're up 3-0, you got all the momentum in the world after that goal that came right after a power play in the second period. But Nolan Marteau, Rylan Spicer on that second line that's been tearing it up for Central all year, got them back in the game. And then you take an unfortunate 5-on-3 disadvantage, and a one-timer for Trey Clausen ends up winning the game tonight for Grand Forks Central.
Yeah, what a hockey game. And, that line of Spicer, Marteau, Walk, and Foose, like they were so good all game. They scored some big goals. Obviously, unfortunate penalties for Red River at the end of the game, but I just thought a fantastic high school hockey game from start to finish.
Yeah, you just killing a 5-on-3 for a minute 50. It's not just that it was a 5-on-3. It was a minute 50 of 5-on-3, and trying to keep Central out of the net for a minute and 50 seconds down 2 men. Tough achievement for anybody.
Yeah, and it looked like Red River was close to killing it off. They had a few good blocks, a few timely saves when they needed it to. If they could have got maybe one clear, I think they could have done it. But ultimately, Walk and Foose made a heck of a play to Clausen there to seal the game for them.
Absolutely. We're going to take a look at that one. Our post-game report brought to you tonight by Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying an application on your farm, in the ski and bike shop where your next adventure begins. Let's take you through our replays that we have tonight. Our highlights brought to you by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent. It gets started with Grand Forks Red River. Griffin Hoganson finishing a play set up by Kyler Beedall. Hoganson picking up short-sided rebound, stuffs it in, 1-0 in favor of Grand Forks Red River in the opening period, and they weren't done in the first period. We'd see Blaze Newberg come back. Great turnover that he forces out of the circle. He goes in and scores. 2-0 Red River, and then at this point in the game, late in the second period, Red River's up 2-0, just coming out of a power play. A puck is just saved on the near side by Red River, and they end up putting a goal in. That goal coming from Thor Seeger, who's been on a tear lately. 3-0 Red River, and you're thinking end of the second period, lots of momentum. Here's Nolan Marteau on his forehand side, high slot with a path to shoot through. Marteau's been on a roll. He makes it 3-1. This is 20 seconds later. Same line coming out, and Rylan Spicer shovels one to his backhand, comes in and scores. 3-2 after 2 periods of play, and now you know it's on. And things didn't happen early in the third period, but they happen. Rylan Spicer comes away once again. Actually, Spicer again, second goal, rushes in and scores on his forehand. That turned it into a 3-3 matchup. Apologies, getting back to an early one, and now we'll come back with a game winner. 5-on-3 advantage for Grand Forks Central. There's the pass from Walkenfuss. He finds Trey Clausen, who's been so good on that third line this year for Grand Forks Central, and Clausen with a one-timer wins it, and Grand Forks Central wins by a final score of 4-3. And, kind of fitting tonight, Ryan, that Trey Clausen ends up coming with a game winner, because we talked about some players that are on the depth end, third and fourth lines, making some plays. Clausen's a guy that could be on a first or second line for a lot of teams in the East region. He scores the game winner tonight for Central.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we talked about the goals Spicer scored to make it 3-2 and then 3-3, but Trey Clausen was so good kind of all game, and kind of like you said, he could be playing on top lines on a lot of teams in the state, and sometimes that's not easy to do for a kid to essentially take on a bit of a smaller role. But it seems like he's just kind of taken it in stride, and he's obviously a huge piece for the Central Knights.
Central ends up winning it tonight by a final score of 4-3. Post-game report brought to you by Spray Advantage and the Ski and Bike Shop. Let's take you through Who Lit the Lamp tonight, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter this evening, and it gets started with Griffin Hoganson. Then we mentioned Blaze Newbert with a goal for Red River. Thor Seeger, so 3 goals for 3 different men tonight for Grand Forks Red River. Nolan Marteau, Rylan Spicer twice, and Trey Clausen on the goals for Grand Forks Central. Gavin Walkenfuss is on the board with 3 points tonight, 3 assists tonight for Gavin Walkenfuss. Let's go through the scoring summary. Red River gets a goal from Thor Seeger, 1 from Griffin Hoganson, 1 from Blaze Newbert. Assist tonight from Kyler Beedall, Mason Breno, Brody Lucier. For Grand Forks Central tonight, 2 goals for Rylan Spicer. Nolan Marteau with a 3-point night. That's a goal and 2 assists. Gavin Walkenfuss a 3-point night with 3 apples tonight. Trey Clausen with a goal, but you're talking about 3, 6, 7, 8 more points for the Marteau, Spicer, Walkenfuss line. I mean, at the beginning of the year, when you start talking about what Central has in Rivard and Kwame and DeZiel, you're thinking lights out leaders. Right now, it seems like there's competition within Grand Forks Central's team to be the lights out leaders at this point.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why Central's such a tough team to play against. Like you can send out the guys you want to defend against the DeZiel line, but then you look down the bench and then you got Marteau's line coming right after them. So it's it's so hard to defend when you're the opposing team, when the other team can just keep throwing out so much firepower, and that line's pretty special.
Those are our highlights that we have for tonight in our scoring summary. And again, our scoring summary brought to you by Bergstrom Electric with Who Lit the Lamp, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. Okay, so Ryan, you're not familiar with this part of the post-game report, brought to you tonight by the Ski and Bike Shop. Again, where your next adventure awaits and begins, and also brought to you tonight by our friends at Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. But what we do here in the post-game report is we move to our PS Garage Doors 3 stars of the game. Brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. Now, normally, Ryan Kuntz just does this. I'm going to give you some help tonight. But then I'm also going to impress upon you a little bit because it's a Central Red River matchup where a lot of guys played well. So I figure rather than go 3 stars total, how about we do 3 for Red River, 3 for Central, and kind of keep it even if you're okay with something like that,
we can do
right?
that. Absolutely.
So we'll start with Grand Forks Red River with the 3 stars of the game that we have for you tonight. And I guess, a guy that I really liked tonight was Brecken Hultberg early. He must measure in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He was pretty active all over the ice defensively. He was making plays up the ice, so I thought he was just solid all game.
So we'll give him a star. Blaze Newbert, maybe the 2nd star. This takeaway down here that he turns into a goal, that's a heck of an individual effort.
Yeah, it was. And, we didn't bring up his name a whole lot, but I did think he was good, kind of in different areas, kind of, just making some of those small plays and did score a nice goal for him.
And then 1st star tonight, Griffin Hoganson goes out there tonight, scores a goal, and was kind of all over the ice, I thought. I mean, when they were in position, Griffin Hoganson was making some things happen. And there's a lot of guys that deserve a star tonight, but Griffin Hoganson went out and led his team this season.
Yeah, and he can be such a force, too, just with the size he is and his skating ability. Really all 3 zones, he can find a way to impact the game.
So 3 stars tonight for Grand Forks Red River. Again, Brecken Hultberg, Blaze Newbert, and Griffin Hoganson. 3 stars the game tonight for Grand Forks Central, brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Here, I'll make it easy for you. Spicer, Walkenfuss, Marteau, you go ahead and put them in whatever order you want to, Ryan.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, sound like a broken record saying it, but that line was the difference maker, really each time they were on the ice.
I think they were all just kind of 1st stars tonight. I mean, Walkenfuss had 3 assists tonight, didn't score a goal. Spicer may be a step ahead just because of the 2 goals, and he made a couple of really, really nice plays. Marteau with a goal as well, but I mean, those 3 guys were just inseparable tonight.
Yeah, you can make an argument for really any of them being the number 1 star, because you got Ryland Spicer scoring the 2nd and 3rd goal. You got Walkenfuss having 3 assists, and then obviously Nolan Marteau scoring that 1st goal to kind of get him on the board was pretty important for him.
Absolutely.
Too, so.
3 stars the game tonight for Grand Forks Central, Nolan Marteau, Gavin Walkenfuss, and Ryland Spicer. And again, you can put them in whatever order you'd like to tonight. Our defensive award of the game, Finest Auto Trim, Finest Cover, is brought to you by Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all. Finest Auto Trim specializes in recovering vehicle, boat, marine seats, also seats for your implements for those of you that are in agriculture. Spent a lot of time in those, and those seats didn't give you the support that you need. Take those to Finest Auto Trim so that they can get those recovered for you. So when you start the next year, you'll start it in seats that are going to give you the support that you deserve. Finest Auto Trim, big or small, they cover it all. Boy, as far as defensive plays are concerned tonight, Ryland Corinta really made a lot of big saves. I know he's going to end up getting the loss tonight, but boy, he had to make a lot of really tough saves at the end. And Central outshot Red River to finish the game. It was 10-2 at one point in the shots on goal, so that means 23-9 to finish the game tonight. Shots for Central. Corinta stood up to a lot of pucks.
Yeah, he really did, especially on some of those penalty kills they had. Fighting through traffic, making that initial save. He was saving kind of some of those secondary chances as well. So he does ultimately get the loss, but I thought he made some great saves. And on the other side of the ice, Ryland Burke was really good too. Like he was. He had, I think it was 2 saves in the 3rd period, but both of them were real important saves to kind of keep them where they were at.
And we could go that way. The guy that I kind of like for Central tonight that going to get overlooked was Bodie Burris. He made some really nice plays defensively tonight for Central.
Yeah, he did. And again, you start talking Central, and you can go down the list of guys that can put pucks in the net and, kind of add to the offense. I don't know if Bodie Burris is quite that player, but again, he was good in a lot of different areas of the game.
So take your pick on those tonight for the finest auto trim, finest cover of the game. One final award tonight. Northland Community and Technical College has partnered with KNOX Sports to fight hunger in our region with Goals Against Hunger tonight. Northland Community and Technical College is a great place to start that liberal arts degree that can give you so many different career paths going forward, and you can do it for less right in your own backyard in East Grand Forks. And every night that we have sports with you, we have goals that are scored, and those goals lead to dollars that are donated to the Pioneer Food Pantry in East Grand Forks to fight hunger in our region tonight. Central with 4, Red River with 3. $7 will be donated tonight to the Pioneer Food Pantry to stamp out hunger in our area, and that's brought to you tonight by Northland Community and Technical College. Look them up online or see them in East Grand Forks. Northland Community and Technical College bringing you our Goals Against Hunger that we have for tonight. Well, some final thoughts in this one tonight, Ryan. First of all, are you going to give Ryan Kuntz his job back? That's the thing. You guys got to fight over it now,
yeah,
right?
You know what? He has such big shoes to fill, and I love listening to both you guys when you're on. But it was fun being able to sit in his chair tonight and do the best job I could. And hopefully Ryan's watching, and I'll probably give him a call after this.
I think you did a fine job, and I'll tell you what, you got to see a really, really good game. It's kind of nice to be in on this one. I know it killed Ryan to not be here tonight, but hey. You know what? That's what happens when you get to travel for work, right?
Yeah, and again, such a great high school hockey game. It was from start to finish. Crowd was loud. You had the band here. Some big hits, some goals. Just a fantastic high school game.
I think coming out of tonight, Cheyenne's going to be in first place by themselves in the Eastern Dakota Conference again. They're going to pick up 3 points with their win over West Fargo tonight. Central's going to be just a point behind them and won by 9 in their last matchup between the two, so all of that is what it is. But between these two teams, I feel strangely like nothing was really settled in this one tonight, was it? It's just another game between these two. Good one, but it seems like they've got more to settle before the season's over.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't be surprised if these guys see each other again. There's still a lot of shuffling kind of really all through the conference just with some of the remaining games here. So wherever they fall, they're going to fall. But, it's just, these two could definitely play for a state championship.
Well, and they could play for an East Region championship or anywhere in there, but it seems like they're dying to get at each other one more time. Ryan, thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate you for being here.
Absolutely.
Ryan Leducer joining us tonight for color commentary and analysis. I'm Ryan Cunningham. We thank you for joining us tonight. Your final score is Grand Forks Central 4, Grand Forks Red River 3. On the radio side, we'll send you back to regular programming for the night. And on the video side, we'll see you again coming up on Thursday with more high school sports coming up. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.